Hello everyone, once again, welcome to Cinema Swirl, and it's episode number 24. I'm your host, Jack Bauer.
Beat me to it.
Joined as I am always in this traipse through Tinseltown, Middle Earth, and rings, and where there are lords, and all sorts of fantasy, Sam Chaplin.
Hello.
I was going to say Kiefer Sutherland, but I thought, don't go back to that well just yet.
No, not yet.
Are you annoyed that I did the 24 joke?
Yeah, I know there's like is the noise on 24 like just a ticking clock?
I've never seen 24.
I can't remember the little noise when the clock comes
just
up.
know Jack Bauer.
Okay.
Does it go beep, beep, beep?
Yeah, that's
beep.
it, isn't it?
I know that because of Sky One advertising,
Yeah.
between every show it'd be like, this is 24 coming up later. Beep, beep. Oh, that's quite funny, isn't it? Beep, beep, beep. Now that's quite interesting.
Welcome to Cinema Swirl, guys.
Beep, beep. Well, we're going to beat around the bush as much as we can, but it's time to do Lord of the Rings this time.
Yay!
You seem so unenthused.
Don't give a shit.
What is the fucking deal with Lord? I swear to God, I know that, time has passed.
Yeah.
It ain't 2002 anymore.
What?
I know. It's weird. We don't wear baggy pants anymore.
You don't, mate.
We've moved on. We don't have pockets on things anymore, or beanie hats, or shell necklaces. That's what they did in 2002, I think. But what is all the fucking resentment for Lord of the Rings?
There's a lot of things that I haven't seen or that I've missed out on culturally, right?
That's kind of like the idea of this podcast.
Yeah. Welcome to Cinema Swirl.
Hey,
fine, okay. But Lord of the Rings, for maybe not now, but at the time, felt like one of those, like, you've not seen Lord of the Rings. It's Lord of the Rings, it's amazing, you need to watch it.
Mate, it's Lord of the Rings for the Angry Birds generation.
Anytime, like, I'd look at it or look at things about it, all the lore and the detail, it just bored me. The whole, like, fantasy genre, especially, like, a few years ago, before I'd seen Game of Thrones, bored me to tears.
So this isn't just an isolated Lord of the Rings. We're now dealing with the fact that
think
you've
it's
got
fantasy.
a backlog of resentment towards fantasy.
I think it's elves, I think it's, like, World of Warcraft, I think it's all, like, all that stuff. It doesn't interest me. I don't think.
This is going to make for an interesting episode, I think.
I
mean, we'll get into the true hatred, I guess, or
The
resentment,
nitty-gritty.
the nitty-gritty of it in a few moments, because I think what's interesting about this is that I remember way back when, like, we did one of our first votes for an episode, way back in season 1.
We had Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, and I was like, without a doubt,
you were certain it was going to win.
It was going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I put, like, I think Commando won.
Yeah.
And that was, I was like, what the
sort of a joke that you put Commander.
Yeah, and that's when I turned my back on democracy at that exact moment. But I've always, like, wondered, and particularly, like, a lot of people I know have this kind of resentment for Lord of the Rings. So I really can't wait to get into this. It's going to be interesting. But before we do all that, Chris Tarrant here, I'm taking away the check.
We don't want to give you that.
We don't want to give you that. We want to dive in. Who wants to be a mailbag?
Quick question. Did you ever watch the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire where the guy, like, got the check, screwed it up, threw it away, and was like, I don't need that?
Oh, what a power
Before the
play.
next question, and then lost.
Oh,
had to go and get the check back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've seen the one where the really confident guy has been like, actually I know the answer, and I'm just using my lifeline to ring up my friend in town.
Don't like that guy.
You don't deserve
No.
$1 million.
If he'd have then lost, wonderful, but no.
Alas not.
Mailbag!
So, who wants to be a mailbag-ionaire? Questions, comments, queries, and statements over at cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. Don't think I did that on the last
episode. Just as we were saying that, I was like, oh my god, people are going to think that we've lost it, like old hat. It was okay when they came back and they did the reunion, but they didn't say cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
No, they've lost their touch.
That's cinemaswirl@gmail.com. You
cinemaswirl@gmail.com.
fucking lost this!
Okay.
Oh my god!
I genuinely was thinking, like, maybe we should, like, do a take of us doing it and I can edit it
in post. Got a question here from Aaron Harris, who writes, "Hi guys, only recently got into your podcast and listened to all of them in a space of a week." That makes our fucking output seem really low, doesn't it?
I mean, thank you very much, but yeah.
You like this though? He was working in an Asda warehouse while he was doing it as well, huh?
I used to do that.
Awesome stuff, and hope to hear you back soon. My question is for both Sam and Kevin, and is, if you were stuck on a desert island with 2 films to watch forever, one which you've watched for the podcast, and one other, what would those 2 films be? P.S. Whilst at work, I found this for Sam. Please see attachment. It's a giant discounted Tiffin.
The Dairy Milk Tiffin.
Dairy Milk Tiffin. Dairy Milk Protestant edition.
We've had a few Tiffin emails in and comments and stuff. We do still need to do Tiffin Swirl at some point.
What is Tiffin Swirl? Sorry, it's just like a bunch of Protestant movies?
I guess. No, just... You know, we had Pepsi Swirl, R.I.P., the feature. I think I should just try some Tiffin.
Oh, I see.
You keep saying, oh, you Protestant with your Tiffin. Yeah. Eat your Tiffin. Eat it. But I don't really know what Tiffin is.
You'll be able to taste the difference between Tiffin and Tiffin Max.
Yeah.
Back to the question of Desert Island DVDs.
So from our run of podcasts and then one other.
One other movie.
Okay, so I'm going for... The Big Lebowski.
Oh, samesies!
Because I was tempted by The Shining, but then that would just freak you out on a desert island, even though I thought it was an amazing film.
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski I thought was an amazing film, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I think you could have a lot of time rewatching that and getting more out of it.
Yeah.
There'll be little details, little quotes you can learn, and keep yourself amused on the desert island.
Importantly, feel-good movie as well.
Feel-good movie, yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. Great actors, great characters, great soundtrack, which I think is important
Have
on
you
a desert island.
watched it again since...
No, but I should.
I know that you've definitely been like talking it up as like it's a movie that you've... Ever since we've done that, I think of all the movies we've done in Cinema Swirl, it's the one that you've championed the most.
Never watched it again.
But it's definitely one you say you're a big fan of.
I'm saving it for my desert island, mate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, getting the most out of it.
I would say the exact same for one that we've done. No, because it's like I've seen it. You know, when we did Cinema Swirl for that episode, I'd said I'd seen it a gajillion times.
Yeah.
I have actually watched it since, and
it's rewatchable.
It's so rewatchable. Yeah. Insanely so.
And then one other additional film from non-podcast.
So a movie which you have seen but we've not done on the podcast, or maybe it could be one you've not seen and you want to save for the desert island and assumedly ruin the podcast by not doing it on the podcast. So, you know, no pressure.
Sorry, are we both on the desert island?
I don't know. I'm just saying though, if
because if we both pick the same thing, it
would mean that we have to stay together. But
I think we're separate on separate islands.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. But I don't want to be in the position now where it's like, oh, we're going to do The Godfather, and you're like, sorry, can't. That's the one for the desert island.
Oh, so if I get rescued, come back, and we kick off the podcast again.
Okay, that's all right.
Like the Tom Hanks.
Like the Tom
What's
Hanks.
What's it called?
Tom Hanks in Lost Boy.
Castaway.
Castaway's not your choice.
Not my pick.
You wouldn't watch that to like inspire you on the desert island or like things to do.
No.
Tom Hanks's can-do attitude.
I probably wouldn't pick my favourite film, which is The Royal Tenenbaums, because I'm a wanker.
Yeah.
But I love it.
I don't know if you quite understood The Royal Tenenbaums the first few times you watched it, so we have to kind of delve into it again.
That's a brilliant film. I'd probably go for something like a Pixar's Up.
Yes.
Yeah,
uplifting. You gotta stay positive.
Literally uplifting.
Because you can watch it and then be like, of course, balloons!
Because Pixar is very good at narrative arcs that make your feelings go in different directions. So you have the bit at the start where you do a big cry and you feel bad for the characters, and then by the end you slowly go up and up and up and up. There's a little bit of down and then up, and you feel happy at the end.
And then you rub all that crusty stuff in your eyes, like, what the fuck? I was crying earlier!
Yeah. I think any Pixar film largely would serve that purpose.
Cars 2.
Apart from Cars 2.
Okay. Alright.
I've not seen Cars 2. Let's do Cars 2.
Me neither. I'm just assuming it's shite.
Yeah. I'm basing that on nothing. I think Up would give you like emotional, uplifting... it would just make you happier if you watch it over and over again.
In a different way to Lebowski.
In a different way to Lebowski, I think.
Okay, good.
In a more straightforward way, I think.
I think my other movie I would take with me is The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Because it is heartwarming.
Yeah.
And it fills me full of hope.
Yeah.
And I think that if I can imagine Morgan Freeman narrating me through my difficult times on the island...
That'll get you by.
That will get me by.
Yeah. When the black smoke monster's coming along
and the polar bears, I'm like, what's going on? And Morgan Freeman's like, well, actually, like, oh, okay, it's to do with time travel and other banal shite.
No, come on. Let's not talk about Lost.
Also, as well, because I recently moved to Manchester, you get to see the arts, you know? I don't know if you've heard about them, the arts.
What?
It's kind of like people dressing up and doing shit on stage.
We don't have that in the Midlands, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's a northern thing, I think. Like, you know. But we have the arts here. And by the arts, it means that you've got stage versions of plays.
Okay.
And I have seen Shawshank Redemption 1 trillion times.
Right.
You have seen it, right?
I've seen the film, yeah.
You've seen the film,
I've not seen the stage version.
You haven't seen the stage show? Because I saw a stage show of the Shawshank Redemption.
Is it actually good?
It was amazing.
Yeah?
In a weird-ass way. And in the way that I feel like if I was on a desert island and having seen the stage show, I'd like to think I could put on my own one-man show version of Desert Island Shawshank Redemption. I'd play all the parts, get a coconut to be like the warden. I'd be like, you bad warden, why'd you steal all that money, you bad warden?
In my head, it's a musical show. Like, there's little songs in between.
Andy Dufresne owes me 25 motherfucking cigarettes. Cigarettes. It's good.
Yeah,
But let me tell you something. Hope will drive a man insane. So, thanks very much for your... we've all learned that hope is a dangerous thing. It'll drive a man insane. You need to get on that. Write that musical. You're the musical person, not
I can
me.
write music, yeah.
Write a jingle. Write a musical.
Do it.
Same difference.
Do your little songs.
I want now, instead of a mailbag jingle, next time you go to the mailbag, I want a full
song.
Musical.
Okay, a musical about
of the Shawshank Redemption.
We're going to go to the mailbag now, like an hour and a half later we get back.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, and now it's time to go to the mailbag. Andy Dufresne, you strike me as a cold and callous individual. You shot and reloaded the gun. 6 bullets and 2 more for each lover. Shannon Petal, or Petal, writes, hello, my name is Shannon, and I'm a younger fan of the podcast at the age of 16. Since you guys are older, brackets old, I would imagine is very hard to say. It's okay, it's an easy way to say it. And you've experienced more of the world, I'm wondering what advice you give to a younger person. Also, what would you tell your old self?
As in your young self?
Yeah, as in the younger version of you.
Okay, how would you tackle this question, Kevin?
Advice for younger people. Yeah. My advice for younger people is you're funnier than half the shit you look at on the internet.
That's very good advice.
That is my advice. I've worked with younger people in a previous job.
Yep.
And the saddest thing I ever saw was like a group of young people they all had a little fun dynamic in their group.
Yeah.
Funny guys and girls. And they're all sitting around crowded around the screen going, haha, look at this guy saying, damn Daniel, he's got shoes.
Right.
And I turned to those kids and I said, you fucking stupid idiots are funnier than that shit.
Yeah.
And I do worry sometimes because maybe we're part of the generation that didn't have any old Tom, Dick and Harry putting content up online, that we were able to have jokes and weird bits and bobs with our friends and little fun in-jokes and crazy characters and
that
things.
Still happens.
I guess it does, but I just worry that there maybe are some people out there who feel that, oh, that's not for us, that's for the people online. They make the humour.
We're putting the content online, aren't we?
We're ruining children's lives. I'm sorry. Oh, God.
We're influencing a younger person.
We are.
With our humour, when really it should be about them and, what they like.
So we should, instead of doing podcasts, just watch children to be funny.
No.
That seems like an ITV series run amok right there. Yeah. Advice for a younger person? Have you any?
I am not the person to come to you for advice.
Sam has now been hit with the freight train of having to come up with advice on the fly and also having to deal with the fact that a younger person is referring to us as older people.
I mean, that's quite devastating for me.
The assumption that being older means that you have some sort of advice to give is one of the most strange things I've ever had to deal with. The amount of times when I've been working in my job where I had interactions with younger folk and the instinct in my head is to go, I don't fucking know. Okay. I'm not an adult, even though I'm in my late 20s.
I don't want to say this, because it seems like I'm saying you look old, and I'm not saying that, but you look wise. I think it's the beard.
The beard, okay.
The beard, definitely. I don't have that much of a trouble with people asking me for advice.
Oh, this guy doesn't groom. He must have some sort of wisdom.
Yeah, that's
easy.
What people will think. Right. What I would say is that if you want to do something, right, do it and show people that you care about and see what they say and then keep doing it until you get better at it and then you'll be really good at it.
Or until you get sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. If you don't,
Sorry, can I just say that's really good advice?
well,
That is, no, it is. It's good advice.
I think a lot of younger people might have things that they want to try, creative things, I'd say. This is where I'm going for. So it might not be applicable. If you do creative things, like, give it a go, show people. That's the thing. Like, you can do so much creative stuff and keep it to yourself because you're too scared of how people react. Show people that you trust and that you like. They will be honest with you and, like, care about you and tell you the right thing. And then if it's bad, then you can keep trying to make it better, or you can move on to something else. And if it's good, then that will give you the courage to keep going, do more stuff.
So I'm not saying this to hang you out to dry. You're giving really good advice there. Was that advice you would give to your younger self?
Yeah.
If I was to give advice to my younger self, there's
Definitely.
only one real piece of advice I would give, and this is weird, okay, but when I very, 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 very first started doing stand-up comedy when I was like 18 or so, and I did a couple of like talent show things around Galway, and it went quite well, you know, and I was shocked that it went well because it was something I never thought I'd be able to do, you know. Yeah. And I did one or two and they went quite well, and the first one that asked my friends to come, I was really nervous. I got all sweaty beforehand, and I was like all panicky about it, and I didn't sleep the night before, and I had really bad breath as well, like really, really bad breath. And all my friends came to see the stand-up show, and it went really well, and I got through this talent show thing to the finals.
I can see what your lesson here is. Do
you know what the lesson is?
If you bring all your friends, it's like very specific to stand-up. I think, like, if you bring all your friends and family, like, yeah, well, it was great, and then the next show, like, you don't bring them along because you're like, this is going to be great, you'll fall a bit flat.
Well, that wasn't really what I was going to say. What it was afterwards, I was so excited that I went over to my friend PJ, and I couldn't tell you why I did this. Yeah. But I was so excited, and I was conscious of the fact that I was very smelly and very gross, and I hadn't showered in ages. But I went, I can't believe I did it. And I went, ah! Like I did like a toxic cobra breath. And I don't know why I did that. Okay. But it was like the adrenaline, the excitement. Like, oh my god. And yeah. And I had to see like one of my very good friends at the time going, yeah man, awesome. Oh fucking hell, why did you do that? And I was like, I don't know why I did that. I did it. So my advice for a younger Kevin is don't do that thing. Yeah. Don't. I think so. It's the weirdest thing. Don't breathe on people. I don't know why I did it. It's the weirdest thing. That's very specific advice, but I like it. Once again, very specific to stand-up. If you are kind of pooey of mouth at the time, don't breathe on people when you're excited. If you are, don't do that deep breath. The one that the one that accesses the breath that's been in your body for 9 weeks. You know, that kind of old grey breath that's inside you. So that's my advice. Yeah. Oh, also, like, if you're not enjoying doing something, or you feel bad about it, or you don't like it, just stop doing it. Yeah, I know there's going to be situations where you can't sometimes, but if you're able to, just stop. Yeah. Don't feel beholden. Yeah. And never a lender or a borrower be. Yeah, and a Lannister always pays his debts. Exactly. Yeah. And that was all the advice that we can give. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. Do you think we're going to look back on this when we're like old and be like, we had that shit figured out, didn't we? Do you know what never look a gift horse in the mouth means? If you get a gift of a horse, you're given a horse as a gift. Thankful, and don't be like, hang on, I want to check this horse's teeth, make sure it's a proper horse. Not one of them gum horses I've heard about. Well, like, I think you can tell how old a horse is by its teeth. Oh yeah, you cut the tooth in half and you count the rings. Count the rings, yeah. So if you look at the horse's mouth, you're going like, oh, is it old? So don't do that. Is it a proper horse? You know, kicking the horse's teeth, you know. Kicking its tyres. I'll give you 200 quid. Pushing its prostate, you know, making sure it's all got its jabs. Well, there you go. That was some nice questions. Shannon, thank you for what is easily the most strange question we've ever gotten. Well, good luck. And that's not strange. You've asked a strange question. You've asked a question that's made us reveal how strange we are. Yeah. But my advice to you specifically, Shannon, is stop calling podcasters older. Yeah, that's you will never look a gift podcast in the mouth. Yeah. Okay, that's just we've got old smelly mouths, and never a lender or a borrower be. Okay, so Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we've established that you don't like fantasy?
Not really.
When this movie came out,
Yeah.
I know that there was a concerted effort across all media, and this is back in the days when, the likes of you and I would be in front of a TV a couple of hours a day, flash ads on the web, TV.
When are we talking? Early 2000s?
We're talking like 2001 to 2004, 2005, that kind of block of time. That's when Lord of the Rings
I'm like 10
dominated.
to 14.
Yeah, you are essentially the target demographic. And I know for a fact because when Star Wars was re-released in 97 when I was 9 years old, it just fucking sucked up my whole goddamn life and I loved it.
Yeah,
the prequels were bogus. When this Lord of the Rings shit came around, I could tell straight away, it's like, this is going to be like a thing.
This is my generation's Star Wars.
This is Star Wars for, I'm going to say the angry, this is Star Wars for the Snake 2 generation. Is what this was, okay? This is Star Wars for the Space Impact generation, okay?
Yeah.
This is Star Wars for the Pears generation.
This is, Star Wars for the salad fingers generation.
For fuck's sake. So, I think I've asked you this before. Was there, on your part, kind of I see what you're trying to do there, but sorry, child, that's not my dish. As in a rejection of... There's a lot of advertisements, there was a lot of media, games, books, TV, fucking toys.
Yeah.
Everything was getting its foot dipped in with this Lord of the Rings stuff. It was everywhere. So did you kind of see it and go, nah? Or did you see it and kind of go, oh, well, I don't know, it's not for me, or what was it?
I think I don't know if it's an outright like rejection of a thing that was popular. There might have been some part of that because I was like a preteen and then teenager. I might have been like, no, that's not everyone like. I don't really care about it.
I'm not going to clean my room. I'm going to listen to Linkin Park.
Exactly. I'm not going to watch Lord of the Rings. No, I think it's just more like that doesn't appeal to me.
Is that because of the fantasy?
I think so.
Because I remember distinctly at the time not liking fantasy.
Right.
Like I remember distinctly at the time thinking goblins and ghouls and all that shit. I thought it was like I had this real negative association with Dungeons and Dragons when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think that came from my parents who knew someone or knew people at university who were mad into it and they thought it was like this dark-sided, weird, obsessive shite.
My brother...
So I never was into it as a result.
My older brother played a lot of Warhammer and that kind of thing, and he painted the little figures, and that's kind of fantasy sort of thing.
I was a Warhammer kid as well for a little while. I mean, I say Warhammer kid. I got all the stuff. I tried to paint it and I could never figure out the rules of the game, and I got, I passed out from super glue.
Yeah.
But there was Warhammer, and there was Warhammer 40k. And Warhammer 40k was futuristic space. Warhammer was fantasy, goblins and ghouls.
Yeah.
And I do distinctly remember the only people who would play Warhammer, certainly in Dublin where I was at the time, were the older nerds.
Yeah.
As in the neckbeard kind of lads.
Yeah,
As in, these guys with their fucking Terry Pratchett novels and their Warhammer, they probably know who J.R.R. Tolkien is. We like the sci-fi because we're young, we're cool, technology, zap lasers.
Yeah, I guess some of that might have been like me, like, well, that's the sort of thing that my brother liked, and I'm a different person, so I'm not going to like that.
Was your bro into Lord of the Rings?
Yes, yeah. He's got like the DVD box sets and the extended things.
And was he someone who, before the movies came out, was he into the books and stuff?
I think he must have known the source material, at least partly.
Did you ever read any of the Lord of the Rings books as a kid?
No.
Most important question, did you ever pretend to read any of the Lord of the Rings books? Or The Hobbit even?
No.
Because I was really shocked to find out that like I'm the only person in Ireland, I think, who didn't read The Hobbit growing up.
I remember like hearing about other kids who would read it, and general consensus was that it was long.
It is long.
And there was weird languages in it. Is there some like elf language?
There is another language in it.
Right.
And the books as well, I remember when all this hype was coming about the movies, I got hooked in with it because it did kind of come with a sort of a, it's fantasy, but it's cool fantasy. And not the way you know it. And I do remember going to the librarian in school and going, Mr. Power. It was our
Mr. Power?
Eddie Power.
That's a great name.
Fucking great name.
Yeah.
Eddie Power. So Eddie Power, I says to Eddie, Eddie, I'm seeing all these Lord of the Rings commercials and hype and whatnot. I've read Hot Dog Magazine this week. I've read Total Film.
Sorry, Hot Dog Magazine.
There was one called Hot Dog, wasn't
Hot Dog?
Yeah.
What's Hot Dog?
There was Total Film Empire, and then I think there was...
Hot Dog?
I thought there was one called Hot Dog, but now I'm thinking I might have
maybe
made that up in a dream.
I love the idea of Hot Dog Magazine.
Hot Dog Magazine.
Hot Dog.
Why did Hot Dog Magazine go out of business? Too much grandstanding and hot dogging around. Anyway, Hot Dog Magazine, which is kind of an amalgamation of little tiny articles and nipples and ears and like a hot dog.
Yeah.
It had, I'd read all this stuff and I was psyched. I'd go to Eddie Parr and go, give me the book.
Give it to me, Eddie.
Give it to me. And he gives me the book and I read one chapter and I put it down. I thought, this is fucking dumb.
Was it like a dusty tome?
It was a dusty tome.
Yeah.
It was really dusty. He gave it to me with the kind of, another person. Like, he always had this look in his face that he reserved for people asking for Lord of the Rings or Mein Kampf. Which is, alright, another person's going to ask this book and return it after a day after giving up and the joke running out on them. They talk in verse and like songs. Like, some of them sees a fucking doorknob in the first scene and they're like, oh, let me tell you this fucking long sonnet that I've written about English class. So I gave up on the book. But even still, when that movie came out, fucking sucked me in.
So do you love the films?
I loved the films.
Loved?
And I have not really watched Lord of the Rings in the since The Hobbit came out.
Right.
Basically.
How did you feel about The Hobbit?
I didn't like The Hobbit.
Okay.
I didn't like The Hobbit at all.
It had Tim from The Office in it.
It did, but it fucking stank.
Yeah.
And it fucking stank big league.
Right.
And I know it's fun and it's very easy to make fun of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But
that's for good reason.
That's for good reason. Like on cinema, the way they kind of have one of their characters love The Hobbit religiously, I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
So none of it appealed to you then?
Not really, no.
You didn't partake in Lord of the Rings Warhammer. That was like their big crossover they had at the time.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, did your brother get that shit? I bet he did.
Must have done.
Must have done. So you saw the second Lord of the Rings movie,
I did.
Now, how did that come about?
Now, often you will find little anomalies in my film watching career when other people are going and I don't want to be left out.
This happened to you so many times where you've been brought to the cinema almost against your will.
Well, it's like, especially with big franchises that everyone's into and that I'm not into, there'll be opportunities where you're like, oh, let's go and see the 8th film, and I'm like, I don't know any of the things. Like Harry Potter, I saw the last one with a bunch of my friends, having only seen the first 2.
Did you read any of the books?
Read the first 3.
And that means you basically ensured you can never go back and read the others because it's been spoiled for you.
Yeah, and I pronounced Hermione wrong.
Hermione?
Yeah, because you'd never seen that name before.
And better than Hermione. Hermione sounds like a cut of meat.
So I saw the second Lord of the Rings film, The Two Towers.
Yeah, it's not the Twin Towers, as everyone accidentally calls it.
In cinemas with my brother and my dad.
Okay.
Because that was like a big family, like...
How did they pitch that to you?
No, I think it was just like, we're going to see this, do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, okay.
They weren't like, we're going to see this movie, like, but I don't want to. Like, no, you'll like it. There's goblins.
No one like was forcing me to go along to it. I think I was the one who was like, I want to go to the cinema if everyone's going to the cinema.
Because that's a long trip to the cinema.
Yeah.
3 hours thereabouts.
Yeah. I will be very frank and very honest. I wasn't really paying attention to the film when I was watching it.
Yeah, rocking Space Impact on the old phone there.
I wasn't doing it. I was just like, I think I was just bored. I think the aesthetic of it, or just even the scale of it was like not that interesting to me. It was
what, too big?
In my head, all I can remember is like it being quite blue and dark.
Blue and dark.
Was there blue and dark?
There's a lot of darkness in the second one.
Yeah, like nighttime.
It's nighttime.
Yeah.
So, what do you remember from like Lord of the Rings? Like main kind of like characters, main kind of story.
In general, the whole series.
Yeah, general.
I know. There's Frodo.
Yeah.
Who is a hobbit, main character, played by Elijah Wood. There is Sam, who is his little mate, Samwise, which I know because my name is Sam, and Sam from the film I think is a little bit podgy, maybe. So people are like, oh, you're Sam from Lord of the Rings.
Because your name is Sam.
You're a bit fat. You're Sam.
People actually did.
Not like no one's actually said that.
Because I remember when we watched Game of Thrones, you and I watched...
And there's a bloody fat Sam in it.
Well, you and I watched like some of the first episodes of that together, and I remember like when Sam was introduced, you went, oh God, there's a fat one called Sam, and then you went...
fat coward.
You said he's going to be useless and a coward. Like you just had this association with that word being used wrong.
I think so.
I don't think there are any powerful, strong Sams in mainstream media.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. Fireman Sam.
Yeah, Fireman Sam, yeah.
He knows what he's doing. So there's Frodo, there's Sam, there's Gandalf.
Yeah.
Big beard. Okay. Big like wizards.
Yeah.
There is Gollum, who has the little voice.
The little voice? Can you do Gollum? Can you say, hi, my name is Gollum? You're
he doesn't say stuff like that.
To a cinema swirl in his voice.
I don't think I
can you?
Hi. No, that's not it. Hi, mate. No, I can't do it.
Come on, you
can't
can do
anything.
it. You can do
no,
it. I'll look away.
Hi, my name is Gollum. Welcome to Cinema Square.
It's
not that. I can't do the my precious. I don't know what it is.
What's the precious?
The precious is the ring. It's Lord of the Rings.
Okay, what's the ring? Whose ring is it? What do they want to do with the ring? If I put the ring on, what happens?
It's powerful.
Like, if I put the ring on the table, it's like, awesome, it's the ring, or oh fuck, it's the ring.
Oh fuck, it's the ring? No, because people want it.
All you know about the ring is that people want it.
Gollum wants it.
He wants it.
He really wants it.
It's precious.
It's his precious.
Yeah. So you don't know, like, what the ring actually is, or what they want to do with the ring.
It's got magic in it.
Well, fucking hell, obviously.
Yeah, it's a magic
it's
ring.
a nice ring, stranger. Got some rare rings on sale, stranger.
It's worth a pretty penny, is what I know about the ring.
So is it the Lord of the Rings is just like a series of like?
Is there just one ring though?
Hmm?
Lord of the Rings.
You applied to this many rings.
Giveaway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who is the Lord of the Rings? This is interesting because
It's not Gandalf.
It's not Gandalf. Okay.
It's not Frodo.
That's interesting that you kind of saw that movie, and I'm going to be imagining there's a lot of memes, there's a lot of Twitter, there's a lot of people reference Lord of the Rings like willy nilly all the goddamn time. Do you know any other characters or kind of main plot points?
Frodo, Sam, Gollum.
You said Gandalf.
Gandalf.
Do you know any of the baddies?
Legolas.
Legolas.
Lego lad.
Lego lad. Legoland. Windsor.
He's the Orlando Bloom long hair one that girls liked.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think girls liked Legolas?
Because he's sexy.
He is, isn't he?
Sexy archer.
Sexy archer.
Yeah.
Archery is a sexy sport, isn't it?
And yet the girls didn't like my long blonde hair when I was at school.
That all
So
about?
what's going on, girls?
Make your minds up.
Cinemasquare@gmail.com.
What's wrong there? Heat magazine. Tell me what's up.
Legolas. There's probably some big fucking orc looking things, some Hagrid type figures.
Hagrid type figures.
Big like hello
hello, I am Blair.
Yeah, there's probably some of them.
This is like really fascinating because like with Star Wars, I could kind of
Gollum's the baddie, isn't he?
I'm not going to say, really. Because with Star Wars, it was interesting because there was, like, you knew, like, main characters, but you had no idea of what the overall plot was. But I always felt that, like, with Star Wars, when people reference it, they don't reference the plot, they're always referencing the characters. But for me, Lord of the Rings is almost the other way around. It's almost the plot and the kind of the ring and... But I'm surprised even by seeing the second one and all, like, the 10
I didn't pay
years,
attention.
You really didn't?
No.
Because is it weird for me to say, like, how special these movies had a place in my heart? I'm totally open, by the way, to these movies aging terribly, because I assume a lot of stuff from 2002
they're not that old though
doesn't age well. Well, you know, anything that has the phrase pioneering CGI in 2002 tends to maybe not hold up as well.
I know there's some epic battles.
Because for me, when this movie came out, there was a number of us in boarding school who were like, this is gonna be like this is going to be such a big fucking deal. And even though I was a total goody two shoes in school, I never once got detention my entire time in school. Okay. There's my advice for you, Shannon. Don't never get detention. Don't never get detention. You don't ever get detention, and always be a straight arrow like I was. You know, I was a straight arrow in school, but me and a bunch of my friends all decided to skip school.
You bunked off?
We bunked off.
Oh, wow.
In the best way possible. We first asked permission to bunk off.
From whom?
From the housemaster.
That's not bunking off.
Well, no, we asked permission. They said no, but then we went anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so... We bunked off in the best way. We bunked off in the sense that... Also, I've never used the phrase bunked off until now. I just assumed it was something to do with the wire, but that's a great phrase, bunking off.
Bunking off school.
Bunking off sounds like I'm up to no good.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Oh, he's bunking off in there. What's he doing to those bunk beds?
No, don't go in there. He's bunking off.
He's bunking, alright. Oh, there's bunk everywhere. Anyway, so we decided... Because we had asked the housemaster saying, can we go? And he said,
housemaster.
No. The housemaster.
That sounds like something from Lord of the Rings.
You know what's funny as well? Housemaster is a rung below. Housemaster isn't even the top guy.
Who's the top guy?
He's a dean.
House Lord.
There's the dean.
The dean?
The dean.
Right.
And underneath the dean there was a housemaster.
So you're at like American college.
I kind of love the idea that like a housemaster has to roll up issues to the dean. As in, like, I'm the master of the house, but I want to refer to the dean on this one.
To me, like the dean should be like, housemaster. Housemaster, can these people bunk off?
The Housemaster only appears as a giant hologram, like.
No.
The son of Skywalker must not become a Housemaster. So, because we told them, oh, can we go? And they said no. And they went, oh, okay. We assumed that, that meant they would never suspect because we were the good boys.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're like, there's no way. If they asked permission and were told no, that they would still go. We went anyway. We bunked off and we saw Lord of the Rings. 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. It was the first actual screening in Dublin at the time. We found the earliest possible one. 9 in the morning. And we came out and we had lunch afterwards.
Was there anyone in the cinema?
No, there was like us and like one other group of people probably bunking off. But the thing was that we came back and everyone's like, oh my god, you guys all bunked off, what was it like? And we knew straight away how big a deal this movie was. Right. And Mr. O'Shea, the strict housemaster, and he went, hey! What were you guys doing today? And we're like, oh shit, Mr. O'Shea. Yeah. So we went to him and he was like, where were you today? We went to see Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. Yeah. And tell me, was Treebeard in the movie? No, actually not. What? Treebeard wasn't in it? How about Tom Bombadil? No, he wasn't in it. Oh my god, he has to be in the second movie. Will he be on the DVD? And straight away we knew. Easy street. It was okay. Because nerds. Yeah. And the following 2 years, we bunked off with a nod and a wink, and no one raised an eyebrow because it was just established that we were allowed to bunk off and go see Lord of the Rings. We did it every year for the following 3 years.
Bunch of bunk boys.
Great. It was fucking fantastic.
Okay.
Cherished childhood memories.
Right, so that's definitely tied into some actual, like, feelings.
Oh, yeah, because as well, every Christmas as well, my dad, because I would see it at school. We'd
Did they come out at Christmas?
Came out at Christmas. So we'd see it like the last 2 weeks of school. Right. Then I'd come home for Christmas. And obviously, because I was in boarding school, coming home was a big deal. And me and my dad then on Christmas Eve every year for 3 years, we went to go see Lord of the Rings. And he loved it. He loved it so much. My dad fucking adored Lord of the Rings so much.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I've got such bad taste in my mouth about The Hobbit is that when The Hobbit came out then, my dad was like, he's all fucking excited. He's like,
it's back! It's happening again!
They're making, and it's a great, because they're making 3 of them. And my dad just thought that was great, because it meant 3 years of cherished childhood.
I know The Hobbit
relived.
Went through all kind of weird production stuff where it's going to be like 2 films. It's going to be movies. Guillermo del Toro, and then it wasn't. And then it was Peter Jackson.
Yeah, Peter Jackson went and he did
who's the director of the original Lord of the Rings ones, right? And so everyone was like, oh, it's going to be amazing. After all of this trouble, he's coming back to do it. It's just going to be new Lord of the Rings.
Everything's
going to be okay. And it wasn't.
Oh, it so wasn't.
Right.
And if there was a moment where you think like, hey, me and my dad are going to share a special bond like we did when we were 12 or 13.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite as bad as when we were in the cinema in Mullingar at Christmas seeing The Hobbit. My dad fell asleep during the first half an hour. He woke up, an hour later he turned to me and went, this isn't very good. My dad literally has never complained about a movie ever in his whole life.
Yeah.
So for me, Lord of the Rings, almost like The Hobbit coming out and being shit has made it more special. It's put it higher on a shelf. It's like, this is kind of special.
Like you can't recreate that moment.
No, and to be honest, there's not a whole lot of things when you're 12 and 13 that you can be like, oh man, remember puberty? You know?
But that was a special memory.
That was a special memory.
Right, I don't have that.
And I'm deathly afraid watching this now.
Okay.
That all this is going to be
You've not seen it for a while.
I've not seen it for around, I'd say at least 3 years, 3 or 4 years. Yeah. But I had complete extended editions on Blu-ray. I had fucking all that shit.
Just, you know when you were with your dad watching The Hobbit?
Yeah.
And he leaned over and said, this isn't very good. Yeah. And I assume you at the time were like, yeah, this isn't very good. That's a lovely moment when you go and see something in the cinema with someone and you both turn to each other and acknowledge that it's not good. But it's better if it's really good.
It is.
But if you both go, yeah, this is a bit shit, isn't it? Then it's like a weight has been lifted. If you're going to see it with someone and you feel like it's shit, but you don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
It's great when someone else says
it's a great level of trust, I guess, I had with Pep.
I recently went to see Suicide Squad and that happened.
Oh dear.
Yeah. We won't go into that in too much detail, but it was poop.
Cinema Swirl won't be doing Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
This is great because now you're working in the cinema. You're seeing all these new movies, all these shit new movies, and I don't don't go to the cinema. We could do reverse swirl for all the new like the David Brent movie, Suicide Squad.
Yeah. There's not many like. Oh, I saw Nerve, which is a Dave Franco and Emma Roberts vehicle about social media.
Oh, does it go too far?
It goes too far.
Really?
But I had a lot of fun watching that movie. I thought it was going to be absolutely dog shite and it was alright. David Brent, rubbish. Suicide Squad, rubbish. Hell or High Water, amazing. Amazing
so
film.
You're
Have you
seen
seen
that?
Language
Language to me now.
Have you seen Hell or High Water?
Not.
Jeff Bridges is in it. It's a fantastic fucking movie. It genuinely, like, I don't care that we're recording a podcast right now, Kevin. I want you to watch that film because it's so good.
I'm telling you, there's definitely there's juice in this kind of modern swirl thing.
Modern day Western heist thing, and the pacing is beautiful. And Jeff Bridges is like a detective, but an old school detective, and it's like a buddy. Oh fuck, it's good. Other than that, new films have been shite so far.
I don't want you to think when we go to watch this movie, just because I've talked about schoolboy days.
Yeah.
You know, I basically just done a chapter from Danny Champion of the World there. I understand that. And, you know, special moments with dads.
Yeah.
And even though obviously you prefer chips to your father, I mean, I don't want you to think that I'm going to be too brittle about this. I'm so interested to know your genuine reaction to this now.
Okay.
Because all the things you're saying about it, you know, it being lore and dense and everyone's into it, you know, I could go back in time and find a young Sam Chapman who hadn't seen Star Wars, and you said a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
In terms of it being very dense and layered, and the people who know it know loads about it, and I can't even get my foot in edgeways. You know, I can't get into this pool.
Can't get a foot in edgeways.
Can't get a foot in edgeways.
I know that it's a long film. I know that as well.
Star Wars was long.
It wasn't that long.
It's not Good, Bad and the Ugly long, though.
Fucking 3 hours. Right, like...
We've got nice pizzas and popcorn for this, just so you're aware. Like,
we've got the theatrical cut.
Yeah, because we're doing the bare minimum.
Not getting the extended.
No.
Although, like, that seems to be the main one you can get on, like, DVD, Blu-ray.
You have to go out of your way to find the
theatrical one. Yeah, it's difficult to get because everyone wants the extended thing. I don't know why everyone wants the extended one. I know it's more stuff.
Yeah.
But that does not make it a good film, I don't think. I don't think you should go for something based on just how, I don't know, value for money.
You know what?
It's still a long slog.
I'm really interested to know about this because you pointed out when we did like Empire and Return of the Jedi movies, which I've seen so much that I know, like, here's a little noise here, he says it weird here. I think there's going to be a lot of moments like that in this episode.
Right.
If there isn't, edit this bit out.
Yeah. Is there a school of thought with the whole extended theatrical thing that if we watch this and I say, it's a bit rubbish, people might say, we didn't watch the extended edition?
I have a funny feeling that if you don't like what you've seen here, watching more of it isn't necessarily going to make... Well, you don't like pizza, have this slightly bigger pizza.
But do you think that some people will think that? Is that the nature of these extended editions?
I think that if you're going to watch it all as one big lump, and also you care about being true to the books, or, you know, everyone having their own little thing developed all the way...
Then extended edition.
Then extended, I guess. But honestly...
But I'm not going to get much less from this than I would. Yeah, okay.
Because honestly, the thing you have to bear in mind is the thing everyone saw in the cinema, the thing that raptured everyone was not the extended version, it was this. Yeah. The extended version is an extra 30 or so minutes, and... there's some good stuff in there. I would say less necessary. Yeah. With the third Lord of the Rings particularly, I think they were going cut crazy to try and get it down to the 3 hours and 50 minutes it was in the theatrical release, or whatever ridiculous length it was. So in the extended third movie...
There's actually some important stuff that's missing.
Because they just didn't have to worry about, people watching it in one sitting. Right. I mean, the DVDs, they came in two separate... You have to watch the movie over 2 discs, the extended. That will tell you what they think. Yeah. As in, take a fucking break, watch this another time.
Fucking hell.
Excitement level on a scale of 1 to Pepsi Max right now. I mean, Pepsi Max being 10, whereabouts would you say you are?
Fucking Dr. Pepper, man.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, me neither. I fucking hate Dr. Pepper and fennel. Don't care for them.
Fennel?
Fennel. Has the same kind of licorice-y taste.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like licorice. Black licorice.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. I don't like that flavour.
Well, at least we agree on that. Okay.
Will we agree on Lord of the Rings?
Let's find out.
Oh yeah, let's go do a cinema swirl.
Yeah.
hours later, I've done a big wee, Sam's done a big poo.
Thanks for announcing that.
Gut reaction to Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. Now, I might nick a word which you've probably going to have a lot mentioned here, which is long. I know you thought it was long.
Film, yeah.
But initial gut reaction.
Slog.
It
was a slog.
Did you have a nice time?
It was alright. It was okay. It's like, there's a lot going on.
A lot going on?
Well, yeah.
Was it a complicated movie is what you're trying to say to me?
Yeah. Difficult to follow at times, I guess. Lots of characters, lots of places.
Lots of names.
Lots of names. Lots of races, lots of fake names.
Hey, you got that in Star Wars as well, though, I would say.
Yeah.
So what is it maybe, because in Star Wars you didn't come in going, so many names, because you had planets and places and all sorts of nomenclature.
But I mostly followed it okay still.
So you found it difficult to follow, you would say?
Maybe.
Because you did need to turn and ask me on a couple of occasions what was going on.
If you ask me now to start to finish explain the plot, I would struggle with some of the details.
The fine details, but broad strokes.
Broad strokes. What, do you want me to...
Well, no, broad strokes, you know what was happening. You knew why they were all banded up together.
Yeah.
You certainly know about that ring now, I guess.
Destroying a ring. Right?
It was? They were trying to destroy the ring?
Yeah.
There's another 2 movies afterwards.
Okay.
I was going to say, having watched this, does this retrospectively make the 2 towers make a bit more sense to you?
Not really. Can't remember what was happening there either. There's probably more travelling and fighting and stuff.
So you've been coming away from this now with a sense of, I'm not going to say malaise before we get into it, but that was not a fun time at the cinema swirl for you.
It was okay.
Usually the noises you make, like, those are not usually positive noises.
No, it was alright. There was a lot of time where maybe we'd pause it to get a snack or a drink, or someone would need a wee, and I would pay very close attention to how much of the movie we had got through and how much was left.
I was very proud that you only, you waited a full hour before you asked.
Yeah.
Because you went, how long is gone?
Well, no, I wasn't
we were 1 hour in.
Are we there yet? But
excuse me, when we loaded this movie up and the bar at the bottom showed you how long there was, and you went, only 2 hours and 58 minutes to go. That was when New Line Cinema's fucking gimmick was still on the screen.
Yeah, it's a long film.
It's a big ask here.
Yeah.
And I won't judge you one way or the other.
Okay.
But do you think you put a bit too much emphasis from the get-go
on the length of
the movie? Do you think you honestly went, you know what, I've got no plans this evening, I've nowhere to be, it doesn't matter how long the movie is.
I have no plans this evening, though.
But you really felt fidgety.
It wasn't like, I hope this finishes so I can do whatever. It was like, I'm just a bit bored.
Because I know we've done Cinema Stroll before where literally it was the middle of a working week and I had to drive 90 minutes home.
And there was actual time pressure.
It's if we don't hurry up now, I'm not going to get home until 2 in the morning and I have to go to work tomorrow for 7 in the morning,
Sam, slow down. You have to stop some of those great observations because we've got places to be.
I've always been kind of conscious of the length of movies, but this one, I was like, well, fuck it, we've got all day.
We've literally got all the time in the world.
Literally nothing to do today other than this. And yet still, that fucking was hanging over you like a black cloud. This 3-hour movie.
I will admit that knowing how long it was, which I knew from the start, I knew before we even looked at it. I knew I was getting into that, the weight of that.
Do you think almost
was bearing down on me? I don't know, but I was definitely conscious of it a lot in the film.
Interesting.
Yeah. Can't help being aware of how
when we went into the movies to see this the first time, and when we're coming in to see this and coming out and being like, Jesus, how much time has passed? How long was that? Yeah. And it was only in the second or third one once I started having growth spurt and could no longer sit comfortably in cinemas that I was like, holy shit, it's a long time to be sitting down. Because this, out of the 3, is actually the shorter of the others. It's on the short end of things. I mean, you're talking 3.5 hours for the theatrical cut of Return of the King. I will say as well, because I don't know if we're going to do the other Lord of the Rings. The moments in this.
No, I don't know either. If we are
towards the end when you kept going, oh, that like credits will roll now. Credits will roll now. You were doing this in Fellowship of the Ring. There's literally 5 moments in Return of the King where it's like zoom out, everything is happy, peaceful.
Next scene.
Next scene, you know?
Yeah.
So we started this eons ago. And we get a little bit of a recap from Galadriel. Previously on AMC's The Lord of the Rings.
Who's Galadriel?
She's the mystical elven lady. She's the one.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah, she was the voiceover at the start.
Right. Okay.
Whisper. The world is changing. Loads of stuff is different now. Woolworths isn't open anymore. That used to be a thing. And your physical media collection takes up far too much space in retrospect.
There's some great exposition here. It's all, laying out the foundations of everything. There's loads of rings. I didn't know how many rings there were.
Well, Lord of the Rings implies a plural.
More than one. But I know about
the one ring.
They're like
elven rings, dwarf rings, boy rings.
Mood rings. Wingdings.
Onion rings. King of the Rings.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of rings.
So they get given to different races and they have some kind of power from the ring?
Yeah, so all these rings were made.
Right.
It's kind of like powerful rings. Here's some powerful rings for the different races. But in secret, there was a dude making a super powerful ring.
Right.
That was powerful enough to basically control all the other rings. And that was the One Ring, which is our boy Sauron.
Yeah.
Sauron, who spends most of the movie being a littlest eye wreathed in flame.
Yeah.
But at the start, he just looked like every final boss in a game ever.
He did. Sauron, as I call him.
Sauron,
proper cross.
When you saw him, you laughed immediately. When it said, and there was one bollocks, Sauron being close to him with his face.
Right, the reasons why I laughed at him. First off, he lives in fucking Mount Doom. Which, that's the most stereotypical big baddie hideout ever, isn't it? Mount Doom.
Chaos Mountain, maybe.
Mount Doom.
I will give him one. J.R.R. Tolkien wrote these way back in the fucking 40s or whatever. Can we cut him some slack?
But that's where Sauron lives, right?
Yeah. No, he doesn't live in Mount Doom. Right. He lives in Mordor, which is a realm that contains Mount Doom.
Okay.
He lives in the fortress of Barad-dûr down the road.
Oh, that's fine then. The fortress of Barad-dûr. Barracuda.
Yeah, it's Mount Doom adjacent. Great views of Mount Doom.
Which bumps up the property prices a bit.
15-minute commute. There's a light rail going in there at the end of the year.
Yeah, okay.
So he lives close there.
Because I was thinking, baddies don't think they're baddies, do they? Most of the time.
Yeah, I think in wrestling they always have the terminology, which is like the bad guy or the heel
thinks they're the good guy.
He's the good guy. I mean, what I'm doing is justified.
If you're living near fucking Mount Doom, you're the bad guy.
You're pretty much.
Yeah.
I think he's straight up. He realizes that he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, Mount Doom, you gotta own that shit. I mean, well, in fairness, he didn't name the mountain.
No.
He built his fortress. Barad-dûr sounds fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
We went on a weekend break to Barad-dûr. It was, off-peak as well. It was amazing. No queues at the buffets at Barad-dûr, Mount Doom, he just happens to live there.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like those poor people who live in Trumpington in Cambridgeshire. They don't know they live in a fart town. Okay? They only they didn't name it. They're running with it, though. They're owning it.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do in those situations.
So all those scenes at the start with Sauron, we've got the ring on.
Yeah.
There's also close-up on the ring. And it felt like actual fucking product placement for the ring. It was really weird. It seemed like...
I had a One Ring. I did have a One Ring. My brother got me a One Ring for Christmas the year after. No, my birthday after Lord of the Rings came out. And honestly, I thought it was the coolest fucking shit ever. No. And we used to literally steal it off each other, run around going, the One Ring. It was a great time.
That's quite sweet.
It is quite sweet. But the one thing I do think is weird, Joe, the intern, was telling me earlier, apparently people get married exchanging the One Ring.
Oh,
now, there's a lot of problems with that. Yeah. Number one, pretty evil ring.
Yeah.
I'm not going to propose to anyone with an evil ring.
No.
Secondly, and more importantly, offensively, the very notion of having 2 One Rings and exchanging them to be married
doesn't work.
There's only one ring. That's why it's called the
One Ring.
One ring to rule them all, and their husband or partner or spouse or wife or whatever doesn't work.
You know when your mum's like, I know you're going out, just give me one ring to make sure I know you're safe. To rule them all, just if you can do
just
that.
One ring. What did you think of the big CGI battle at the start?
It was alright. I thought Sauron was quite funny because he looked so evil.
And gets to throw everyone around, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, it was, convincing fights, I guess.
It's kind of, has it aged badly, do you think?
No.
The CG?
No. Throughout the whole film, I thought everything looked fine.
I was
Apart
expecting...
from there was one notable bit, but we'll get to that later. Yeah.
There was there's one, maybe 2 little bits, but by and large, I went into this expecting, like, oh, Jesus, like a real bad shot. Like, when I watched Spider-Man 3 recently, and, all the CG on Spider-Man 3, in case you're wondering, folks, has not held up well.
But no, this seems to have held up, yeah.
Yeah.
Even in Blu-ray quality, it's all absolutely fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we have the big battle at the start with Isildur, the weak man, cutting the one ring from Sauron. His fingers fall off, and then he explodes.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the ring anymore.
He doesn't have the ring anymore, so he explodes.
Okay.
Now you're obviously, the way your cadence of your nodding and your okays there.
I'm still learning about what's happening.
You don't know what the fuck was going on.
No.
I'll tell you, and I'll be honest. I didn't walk out of Lord of the Rings the first time going, and know every single thing.
Yeah, but you've watched it quite a few times since.
I watched it since, and it's more than Game of Thrones. The very first season of Game of Thrones, the first time you watched it, did you get every single nook and cranny in the detail of the lore and what was going on? No, exactly. It's a dense fantasy.
Yeah.
So I would say, if the scary part of this for you has been there's a fucking weight of names and shit and history.
Yeah.
Then
that's fine to not know everything straight away.
Yeah, it's not like I watched the movie better than you. It's that I watched it like 700 times.
Yeah.
And I've been on Wikipedia as well.
And looked up who everyone is.
But I've not read the book, because reading's for losers.
Yeah. Reading Wikipedia is for winners.
Exactly.
But reading books is for losers.
You can't scroll on a book.
No, you can't.
So, we get to see the ring changing hands. Isildur doesn't destroy the ring, he wants to keep it. It changes hands to Gollum. And then it lands in the most unlikely of creatures, Martin Freeman. I must respect...
Bilbo Begins.
Very good. I must respect the fact that Peter Jackson has to went back and put in Martin Freeman in that one little
digitally
scene.
Added him in.
Because George Lucas would have done that shit.
Yeah.
He would have digitally put him back in.
It is young Bilbo, which is, the main character of The Hobbit.
Yeah.
But played by the guy who plays the old Bilbo.
Yeah, so what you see there is the guy who plays old Bilbo with nuts makeup and stuff to make him look younger. But you don't see Martin Freeman there kind of shrugging, not what's going
Looking
on.
to camera.
Gareth, I don't know where the ring is. That kind of business.
I put the ring in some jelly as a prank. Yeah.
Now we cut to our iconic. There's not a real. I don't like to throw in the word iconic, but I always find Lord of the Rings is very strong visuals and music for all the places. And this being the first time I've watched Lord of the Rings since I've started watching the Great British Bake Off.
Similar.
I must say, when it cuts to the Shire, I expected Mel and Sue to go, "Ooh, we're doing fanny cakes this week. Big willies." But it wasn't. It was Frodo reading a book. Very green.
Very green in the Shire. Very Windows XP background.
Oh, yes,
the grass.
absolutely.
Yeah,
very
bright green.
And we're just the Shire, which is home to the hobbits. All these little tiny Protestants prancing around.
Now, this bit, I liked. I like the little, lovely, sweet village where it feels like the start of a Zelda game and you're just going around exploring, having fun. Everyone's having a laugh.
Learning to fish.
There's fireworks.
You can get on that horse.
Yeah, you learn the controls. It's a nice
Camera is a little bit weird. It's okay.
That bit I really like. I love the Shire. The Shire was nice. The Shire feels like Centre Parks. I've said that about many places.
Why is it like Centre Parks?
Because it's just...
Because it's
outside and nice. And
I have this feeling that in your head you this peak life.
Let's go to Centre Parks.
Is Centre Parks.
Yeah.
Everything before is an uphill struggle. And everything afterwards is just downhill from there.
Yeah.
We should go to Centre Park.
We should.
We should.
That's a little outing.
Live from Centre Parks. It's Cinema Swirl with Sammy Chaplin and Kevin and Sam.
I'd love
Hello, boys and girls. My friend Sam's not seen any movie. I'm just assuming Centre Parks is the same as Butlins.
No, not at all.
So there's not aggressive Blackpudlian comedians there?
No.
Oh, man.
Blackpudlian.
Is that what they're called?
Probably. I don't know what a Blackpool person is called.
I think it is Pudlian. We meet Frodo, the young hobbit and handsome boy, played by Elijah Wood.
Yep.
And he meets his old pal Gandalf,
Yeah.
a wizard who is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he... Do you like Gandalf?
Yeah, I like Gandalf. Gandalf's cool.
Ian McKellen, I think, is a national treasure. Mm-hmm. And I say that not being from your country.
Yeah.
I say that in kind of an Indiana Jones, I want to steal that treasure.
It's not for you to say then.
It's not for me to say, is it?
But I'd say that Ian McKellen is sort of a national treasure.
I will co-opt that then,
Okay.
you know. So he's a national treasure, and he's got kind eyes.
He has got kind eyes.
Very,
Nice,
very kind
Nice
eyes.
granddad figure.
I've heard he's lovely. Like
I'm
people
sure he
who've
is.
met him, like as a celeb and all. He's apparently a jam-up guy.
Yeah.
That's good to know. I think I will only buy someone playing a kind person in a movie if
They are legit kind.
If they're legitimately kind.
Yeah.
If I find out that someone is... there's someone in this who's apparently not kind.
Right.
And I'll tell you later.
Okay.
But spoiler alert. Someone in this movie is
Not
apparently
kind.
Not kind. So we get loads of shots of, people in the Shire,
Yeah.
growing stuff, baking stuff.
There's funny looking hobbits.
Is that what the South is like?
No.
Like, all the way down there?
No.
Like, where they make cider and stuff?
Oh, like that's the West.
Is that the West?
Yeah.
What's the South?
London.
No, there's a whole other
Cornwall.
bit underneath. Is that what Cornwall's like?
Yeah, go on then.
Pretty
That's
much.
what Cornwall.
Yeah, I'm just saying, this whole thing is so homely and British. I want to pour gravy all over this entire village and eat it with a fucking spoon.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
delicious. It's lovely. Gandalf arrives in Bilbo's house, and it's great because being a tall person who's had to go to not tall people's houses, this is my real life. This whole scene here.
Can't fit in the dinky house.
Joe actually reminded me that when I first moved to her house, I spent the first 6 or so months going, just tea, thank you, because I kept banging my head on shit.
Well, I imagine that was very charming.
It was very charming indeed. There's nothing more charming than a man with a head full of bumps who can barely see straight because he keeps banging his head on shit.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just saying, you're a tall man. Mm-hmm. It's not nice.
It's not nice, bumping your head.
I will say, Ian McKellen, I think you are doing a disservice to fellow tall people, assuming he's tall in real life.
I don't know.
But it ain't quaint, it ain't cute.
No.
That shit is sore. Like, literally.
It's a real issue.
Really sore. Because I remember my cousin having a growth spurt before me, and he banged his head on a TV, like one of those ones that was on kind of like a little bracket, and he screamed like a blood-curdling scream, and I'm terrified of bopping my head. It's awful.
It's very clever, the perspective thing.
Yeah, lots of tricks.
Yes.
Nasty
Lots
tricks.
of clever camera tricks to make Frodo look smaller and Gandalf look bigger.
So do you know the things that they used? Or that they did?
I know. I don't know how I know, but I know that it's like all legit, like
Special effects.
Special effects. So literally, sometimes like Ian McKellen will be closer to the camera, and Elijah Wood is further away. Yeah.
They have done ones as well when any of the shots from behind or the side where they like have little boys in wigs and costumes.
Yeah, it's clever. It's
and they made 2 sets. They made like a big set for the halflings.
Yeah,
And then a scaled down set for Ian McKellen to be, just to you, thank you.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I thought originally in that they just found tiny boys to be all the to be all the hobbits.
No.
And that's not.
No.
So Bilbo, who's found the ring, and he's currently holding the ring, he's 111 years old, which is strange because he hasn't aged a day.
You don't look a day over 110.
Yeah, I mean, I want to live to 100. 111? That's a grand old age.
Yeah.
That's the type of age where the government starts giving you medals for being alive still. Like,
That's the kind of age where you got your medal 10 years ago.
You've forgotten about the medal. I hope I look as good when I'm 111.
And Bilbo wants to finish his book, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll find somewhere quiet to finish his book.
Yeah.
And mountains! I've had cravings for many things in my life, including crave cereal. Never mountains.
Never mountains?
I've never craved mountains.
No.
Have you ever craved a mountain?
Not really. really. No.
That's what I would ever find myself craving. But Bilbo has a kind of little bit of a moment where he lets Gandalf know that even though he looks alright, that he's old.
Yeah.
Like butter spread over too much bread.
That's a good analogy. It's
That
nice.
is such a good analogy. I'll be honest with you, Adam Bigelow from the Outshare podcast, he could, if left to his own devices in the right setting, could just talk in Bilbo Baggins quotes all day long. He has a knack for it and a joy for it. Like, he adores speaking as Bilbo
Baggins.
As tragic as it will be, he would jump at the opportunity to tell you how he feels like butter spread over too much bread. And all the time he's doing this, he's diddling the ring that's in his pocket. You notice that? He's got some hardcore diddling going on.
He mentions hard bottle. Does hard bottle come up later? I like the sound of hard bottle.
Is that one of the types of wine that he said?
I don't know.
What was the context of him saying hard bottle?
I've just written down hard bottle. I think it's a place. Those people from hard bottle. I'm not one of those. Or that's something like that.
The Shire's great for having like silly names. Buckleberry Ferry is obviously one that's coming up later.
Yes.
Brandywine Bridge. The Sackville Bagginses. The Proud Feet. You know, there's lots of silly names of things.
Lots of them.
So it could be a person, it could be a place, or it could be a thing.
Yeah.
So my best bet is that hard bottle is a noun.
It's a hard bottle.
It's a hard bottle.
Yeah, fair enough.
Do you notice that they go full on with their weed?
Yeah.
Blazing 420 style.
Yeah, this is some of the finest weed, Gandalf.
Yeah, 420 weeds they smoke here.
I've been alive for 420 years.
You haven't aged a day. So yeah, they call it pipe weed.
Yeah.
They talk about it makes you lightheaded and silly. And there's all different variants of pipe weed. And Mary and Pippin also love pipe weed and they eat lots of food.
It's the drug weed, isn't it?
It's just drug weed.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So we go to the big event. It's Bilbo's 111th birthday.
Party time.
So you gotta have a big old village fair.
Yeah.
I like the idea of people's birthdays causing, there need to be a whole village kind of... Well, basically your birthday means the Great British Bake Off final is happening. Big picnic, all your loved ones.
All the ones from the previous rounds come in and turn up again. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you. Whoa.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you thinking?
Remember him.
Oh, yeah, I don't want Candace to win. Fuck off. Yeah, okay, fuck off. We meet Samwise Gamgee, and he was a character you're quite apprehensive about, I think.
I was, yeah, because I've been compared to him just through name alone, I think. I hope.
What's so nice that the first thing you meet is Sam is like, oh, there's Sam. He's like, oh, I'm nervous. Go and dance with her, Sam.
I don't want to dance with the girl.
I only muck it up. I only like to drink cider. He's a lovely fellow, Sam.
He does seem genuinely nice, Sam. He's friendly.
Sam from Lord of the Rings, Sam from Game of Thrones. Which one is less insulting to compare you to?
Because they both, initially seem like slightly out of shape cowards. But they become brave, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They have, but it's not kind of like, something forces them to become brave. It's like they have this bravery
inner
within
bravery
them
that comes out.
It comes out in these situations.
So you know what? They're nice comparisons. I don't mind them.
Yeah, because if someone's going to say that Sam is like Samwise Gamgee, this means he's a super loyal friend.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. Yeah. And I think he's almost, I don't want to say, is he braver than Sam from Game of Thrones? Speaking of, actually, we might, time as good as any.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Do you see a lot of the Game of Thrones that has come from Lord of the Rings? Because Lord of the Rings, I think, really was the first franchise to take kind of goofy, airy, fairy fantasy and try and make it a little bit grittier. I mean, you notice in the fight scenes, there's a lot of blood, heads chopped off, people being stabbed quite viscerally. Do you see some of Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones?
I do. I mean, I literally saw Sean Bean in both. And I think Game of Thrones has obviously HBO style stepped up the grit level.
Oh yeah, true grit almost, you would say. Have you seen that?
No.
For fuck's sake.
But I think maybe I've been conditioned to enjoy the extra grit. Maybe I expect my fantasy to be more gritty.
I guess because you get too many nice moments in Lord of the Rings. There's too many sweet moments. moments, isn't
There's
there?
well, there are some proper bastards, but there's not any sneaky, like...
It's a hopeless, I guess. There's always a great sense of hope in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Which I think is what fantasy is kind of supposed to be.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones, makes it all
flies in the face
grotty and horrible.
Yeah. By the kind of the goodies never
But
winning.
I can see that there's, must be a level of influence, both probably from the books, from one to the other, and also from the TV show, how it's filmed compared to how Lord of the Rings filmed, especially the battles and some of the settings even. I think
because if you look at like games like Skyrim and Oblivion, I think they also like kind of looked at Lord of the Rings and kind of go, that's kind of a little bit how we do fantasy now, like co-op, And I think it's all for the better, to be honest. I think it kind of made... I mean, do you think fantasy is a little bit less lame after watching some of this, or do you still think it's in that category of ghouls and goblins and elves and bows and arrows?
Game of Thrones was the thing that made me think it was alright. So I'm already in the camp where I'm like, fantasy's okay.
That's so far removed in Game of Thrones, though, isn't it? Like they almost spend so much time saying it's not this, and then they bring in a little bit. But
now going back to Lord of the Rings, I'm like, it's still not like cool.
You're not going to be playing Dungeons and Dragons anytime soon. You're not going to LARP, are you?
LARP?
Live action roleplay.
No.
Just so you know, just because I said LARP doesn't mean I do it.
Kevin's a big fan of LARPing.
Absolutely,
he's a big LARper.
I don't want to do anything in real life if I can help it. We get introduced to two other halflings.
Yeah, get Charlie from Lost.
And Pippin.
And another bloke.
Charlie, you must be the only person ever who knows him primarily as being Charlie first.
Well, he's Charlie from Lost.
Yeah, but mate, he's only Charlie from Lost because he's Merry from fucking Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Absolutely!
No, I know, timeline-wise, that's absolutely the case.
Did you like those cheeky boys?
Yeah, they're nice as well. They're all loyal pals, that little group. Sam, Frodo, Merry and Pippin.
Great
friends.
I remember thinking as a kid, kind of going like, I bet I only like them because I'm kind of young and like I kind of like the fact that there's four friends who stick together.
No, they're
but
the best
even
ones.
as a crusty old man, I'm like, fucking A, friendship is awesome.
Yeah. Although they're a bit naughty early on, aren't they?
They are, stealing fireworks.
Lighting them in the tent.
It is in the ground! Etc. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of fireworks here. Fireworks were against the law in Ireland when I was growing up.
Right.
And this is obviously something you've experienced a lot, which is firework nights and bonfire nights.
Yep.
Now, judging from being around here in Manchester, kind of firework season starts in late August and ends around mid-February. So most of the year, essentially.
There's going to be some fireworks going off.
What is bonfire night like? Because I've tried to find out from people. Because I've been asking recently people, like, what is bonfire?
You've not experienced bonfire night?
I've never done bonfire night. Never ever. I know it is. I've never done it.
Go to a fireworks evening. Fireworks evening.
I asked people recently, what is like bonfire night? He described it like, okay, it's a big fire. It's fireworks. It's a flask full of soup. It's a baked potato.
Mushy peas.
It's mushy peas.
Yeah.
It's beans in a cup. It's cheese on toast. It's just, what is a savoury fucking dinner outside?
Basically.
It's quiche Lorraine. It's spaghetti carbonara. Okay? It's peas and chips, yeah?
Basically, you go out into like a field or some kind of outside area. You stand. It's very cold. You stand around with a nice coat on, and there'll be little stalls selling like nice hot food to keep you hot while you watch a big fireworks display.
And is there a bonfire?
There's a bonfire. Yeah, sure.
Do you not get overheated if you're eating hot food, big coat, fucking fire? Do people like pass out into the fire?
No. No one's getting burnt alive.
Is tiffin served at a bonfire?
Probably, but I've not had it.
Okay.
I don't think I've had it.
Yeah.
I don't know about tiffin. I know you want everywhere in England to have tiffin coming out the wazoo.
Well, it just does. Well, you've clearly you're not the expert.
I'm not the tiffin expert.
Clearly not.
No, despite being a Protestant.
So Bilbo gives his speech. I'm going to say right now, I have previously, on 2 occasions, given this exact speech at birthday parties when I was drunk and didn't want to do a speech.
Right, we're never going to speech.
I don't know half of you as well as I should. The other half of you, I don't like you half as much as you think I should like you because I don't like you.
And everyone goes, what?
And then I go, but you're all very fond, farewell. This is the end. And then he disappears.
But then what do you do?
I just leave.
You just walk off.
I put my hand in the middle of the cake.
Yeah.
I clench it. I drag it across the table. I smear it on my face and I go outside.
Walk away.
That's how I celebrate being born.
Yeah, and he goes invisible with the power of the ring.
Yeah, and then he chucks off.
Yeah.
Now at this point, it's not clear to you that the ring that Bilbo had was The magic ring or the ring?
No. Well, no, it was, wasn't it?
Because they talk about he's got a magic ring, and you know that Bilbo has the ring, and he pops it on.
But when it's ended up in the most unlikely of places, and you're like, oh well, it's Bilbo then.
So were you confused as to why this ring made him disappear?
I thought it made you powerful because it didn't make Sauron disappear.
Sauron, Skittles extra Sauron.
Yeah, it didn't make him disappear.
No, the idea is because the ring is Sauron. Him and the ring are the same thing.
Right.
So he's basically put an element of his life spirit or whatever into this ring. And when he has that ring and him together, he's super powerful because he can wield it. No one else can actually get the power from that ring.
Right.
Because you put it on, except I know Gandalf mentions that he couldn't wear the ring because he thinks that it would use his actual magic to make him do terrible things. Because it kind of possesses you. But the whole thing that people become obsessed with it's because the ring is very it's powerful and it lures people in to make people want to have it and desire it and fight over it because it is evil and cursed.
Okay.
As far as I know, the reason why it makes you go invisible is because it's just a harmless little magic trick ring. You put it on, you go invisible. Ooh,
Right.
And that, therefore, people wouldn't assume that it is this all-powerful thing. And cue a slew of tweets from people who've read The Silmarillion and another fucking shite. But, that's as far as I remember, that was what it was about. And that's its guise. Yeah. Sauron doesn't go invisible because it's basically his completeness. If you put that on, then he's...
Well, Bilbo used it as a fun trick ring, didn't he?
Yeah, it's got a Smithy's ring that you get. You go in the old pound shop, you get the ring, it makes you invisible, your mates go, I can't see it, and you piss it all over them and they don't know it's you.
Classic.
Schoolboy japes. So Bilbo decides he's going to go away, but not before he gets all sexy talking about his ring.
The whole My Precious thing.
It turns me on. He just wants to fuck that thing, doesn't he? He's got a glint in his eye.
It is pervy, isn't it? The way they talk about the ring.
Yeah. There is a seductual, sensual, sexual quality.
Well, the ring is enticing you in a sexy way.
I mean, those curves. War. Am I right?
That one curve.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a boob without a nipple in the middle. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I can see it's a sexy shape. Out of square, circle, and triangle, circle is definitely
absolutely
the sexiest of them all.
I agree.
Do you like when Gandalf goes full Heisenberg on him and he's like, Bilbo Baggins?
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
Oh.
Yeah. Good line.
I'm not trying to murder you. I'm trying to help you.
With the beard, it's very confusing.
It's so easy because all you do, right? If you've got a beard, you want to do a good Gandalf voice. All you do is you kind of pull in your upper lip and let the words flow through your mustache. I'm trying to help you. In all our years of podcasting together, Sam, have I ever led you towards ruin or anything but salvation? It's fun.
Very good.
So Bilbo goes on his way, not before trying to nick the ring twice.
Yeah, still in my pocket.
Bilbo, the ring is still in your pocket. I'm a big fan of 90% of Bilbo and Gandalf's dialogue. It's fucking top shelf, insanely quotable. All of Gandalf and Bilbo is the equivalent of C-3PO going chim chiminy chiroo in Return of the Jedi. So we have what is probably the most confusing scene in the entire movie, where Gandalf is like, I have to go now! Exposition!
Yeah.
And he gets on his horse, and you thought he went to Mordor, because you saw Mount Doom exploding, and then he's somewhere in some city, looking at a bunch of old dusty books.
Oh, I didn't know what the, city of Babadook was. What's it called? Barrymore.
It's It's the fortress of Barad-dûr.
Barad-dûr.
Not the fortress of Baron Samedi, okay? It's the fortress of Barad-dûr. Barad-dûr is not a city, it's a fortress. That's
right.
Mordor.
Did he go to Barad-dûr?
No, you can't go to Barad-dûr.
But you saw Barad-dûr.
He didn't go in, though. Because he's a wizard, they kill him, Sam.
Why did they cut to Barad-dûr?
Because he was going on the way.
Right.
He was going to Gondor.
Right.
This is great because when we watched this, Sam was like, is he in Mount Doom? We go, that's not Mount Doom, that's Barad-dûr. Is he in Barad-dûr? No, he's in Gondor. Where's Gondor? It's near Mordor, but it's not Mordor.
Where's Mordor?
So Gondor is the big human city, which is where he went to. But Gondor overlooks Mordor. So when he's in Gondor, in the White City of Gondor, he can actually oversee and look at Mordor and see Mount Doom and Barad-dûr in Mordor.
So Barad-dûr is in Mordor and Mount Doom is in Barad-dûr.
No, Mount Doom is in Mordor. Mount Doom is not in Barad-dûr. How could you have a mountain inside a fortress? Barad-dûr is a building. It's just a big fucking... It's where the eye is on top. It's the one that looks like a cake because there's a fucking candle on the top of it.
I get it.
So, he's in Gondor.
Right.
Reading a bunch of dusty old books. And the books are basically like a couple of chapters of the book that wouldn't be really good in the movie. So he just reads up and he finds out that the ring is evil.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a secret that only fire can know. So he goes back, and when he comes back, he's all like, is it secret? Is it safe?
Yeah, he gets back really quick, doesn't he?
He does. It's like a real confusing 2-minute scene. So Gandalf comes back to Frodo, full of exposition. He's read all the Wikipedia articles over. That's what you had to do back before the internet. You had to go to fucking Gondor, like, to read all their dusty old books.
You have to go somewhere to read a book.
You had to go to fictional places to read their dusty old scrolls. So he knows that the ring is evil, and he checks this by dropping it in the fire, and all the writing appears. And Frodo, like, for some reason, doesn't get his hand burned when he puts it in. He's like, oh, it's quite cool. He popped it in the fireplace.
No, he meant like this looks quite cool now.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, Frodo, put this shit on your hand, even though it's really warm.
It's totally cool.
Totally cool. You're not a pussy, are you? So the ring is evil, and Samwise Gamgee was dropping eaves.
Yep.
Oh.
I weren't dropping no eaves. I swear, I was just hanging out
just
down the side.
The world.
I never dropped an eve.
Just something about cider. I sorry that I keep saying cider, but that accent is the only thing I've got to hang on to. It is cider. You know,
cider.
The really strong stuff that you get in a barn behind a farm. You know, that's the real proper cider. Yeah. I was in Bristol once.
So it's okay.
That's my shtick.
Yeah.
So they decide now the ring is evil, and Sam was dropping eaves. Road trip.
Yeah.
Road trip. It's the best way to do it. They're going to go and they're going to go meet with Gandalf in a village, and he's going to go chat with his mates, his wizard pals, and they'll know what to do.
Is Sam only sent along on the trip as sort of punishment for being naughty?
It's a mixture of, he realises that Frodo probably needs a companion, and he needs someone to, help share the load of all the food.
Gandalf's like, I've got a better use for you.
Yeah. He sounds like Admiral Akbar there now.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of a better use for you. Those ring rates are coming from nowhere. So he decides it's a mixture of, like, he knows that Frodo needs someone, and Sam was caught in a jam.
Yep, Sam Jam.
Sam Jam. We've all been in a Sam Jam at one point. So he uses that Sam Jam to his advantage and gets him to tag along. But it's only meant to be for a trip to the village down the road.
The Inn of the Prancing Pony.
Sounds lovely place. The Brie. Brie. I want to go to somewhere called Brie. That's delicious. Fucking yeah.
So someone does know that they're there, though, don't they?
Yeah, he's left word that, you're meant to meet me.
Yeah.
Here.
No, but I mean, like, someone knows that Bilbo has the ring.
Yes.
And that it's in the Shire.
That's, yes.
Because
they
tortured Gollum.
They did. And Gollum was the one who knew that they were. So Gollum was the one who knows. So they captured him and they tortured him. And Gollum was like, it's in a... Shire. Baggins. No, I'm not going to give you his first name because I'm no snitch.
Yeah.
Gollum ain't no squealer.
It's one of the Baggins.
Yeah. And that's why Gollum's in the Aryan Union in Oz, because he never snitches on anyone. So the ring rates have been sent off as well, and they're kind of very scary dudes clad all in black. What did you think of the ring rates, or the Nazgul, as they're also
the weird black, like, creepy
things
on the horses?
Yeah.
They're called ring raids.
Ring raids, also known as the Nazgul.
Why are they called the Nazgul?
Just another word. I think that's the word for them in Elvish.
Okay.
So
they're scary.
They are, aren't they?
Yeah.
They seem to have an effect on you. You were a bit uneasy when you heard their high pitched screams and.
Yeah, it's not nice.
They're not nice. No, and particularly as well when you get to see them later, the fact that they're all like just dead bodies basically.
They're not dead and they're not alive.
They're the 9 guys from the start.
Right. Is that explained?
Yes, it is.
Right. Did I just miss it?
You did. You actually you missed it. Then we rewound it. We played it again.
And I still didn't quite get it.
Missed it.
Right. Okay.
That was literally a bit that we rewound. And always, you know what, 3 hours is always longer when you are trying to keep up and you have to pause. Because you have to pause quite a few times. Yeah. Did we pause as much as you would have liked? Because I know usually, if it's something fine. Which you want... No, but I mean, did you feel like there were lots of questions you had during, but you were like, I don't want to make this even longer than it is?
Maybe it was part... I don't know. Like, there were things where if I'd missed something, I wasn't even sure that I'd missed it. Do you know what I mean?
Jo had seen this movie, like, twice, I think.
But still had
And she was still asking questions during it.
Yeah.
So, I think it's one of those movies that you do have to maybe watch a few times to... There's so much fucking going on.
Yeah.
And that's maybe another difference between the extended cut and the regular cut. The regular cut is like, boom, 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 boom. Scene, 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 scene. Everything they're saying is exposition, important names. So you get a little bit more chance to breathe in the extended versions.
Yeah, and kind of learn who everyone is.
Yeah, but you got like 40 more minutes to watch, so which one's it going to be?
I'll go for the theatrical, mate.
We meet Sauron.
Sauron.
Now, this was a bit of a contentious
who is different from Sauron.
He's not Sauron, he's Saruman.
Right.
Saruman, played by Christopher Lee. Mm-hmm. You really didn't like that.
What?
You were complaining that their names were too similar.
Well, it's a bit...
You said it was too hard.
It's it's a bit puzzling.
It's
would
quite
have
close.
such similar names.
Hitler and Himmler, though. I mean, those two boys had the same problem.
But that was in real life.
That was a real life just accident, you know. I guess it just happens sometimes. Christopher Lee, have you seen him in anything before?
I must have done. I know who he is.
Why do you know him? What's he in?
Like, he's Christopher Lee.
He is.
He's dead now, isn't he?
Yes,
a couple of years ago.
Very recently.
He did heavy metal albums.
Do you just know Christopher Lee?
I think I just know him as a celebrity.
Thing.
I can't think of anything I've seen him in. No, I don't know.
So, do you know like Christopher Lee, like the tropes of Christopher Lee, like the kinds of characters he plays?
Was it like Dracula or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. This. What else is there?
I don't know. I was just wondering if you knew any.
No,
he's in really. Star Wars as well. Always tends to play the villain. Does Christopher?
Which Star Wars?
He's in episode 2 and episode 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to be embarrassed if it was the episodes that we had watched. And I was like, who the fuck's that?
Yeah. So Saruman is meant to be the head of the Wizard Order, but he's turned heel. He's basically got a seeing stone, which he's trying to use to spy on Sauron, but it's implied that Sauron is basically taken over his brain and seduced him to be evil. So he's turned full bad guy, and we have a wizard fight with the two of them pointing their sticks and flying everywhere.
We do have a wizard fight. We get flashes of evil Sauron.
Yeah.
And right, Saruman.
Yeah.
Saruman does this thing a couple of times where he seems to address the camera. Now, like, he just turns and looks directly to us. Like, at this point, he says, like, "I have seen it," like that.
And he turns, he looks towards, and he's meant to be looking towards the centre of the room behind him.
But to me, it's like he's just looking at me, saying, "I have seen it." It's like taking me out of the film, but they would just say,
maybe it's just,
"I have seen it." Anyway, back to the movie, and then like
maybe it's just one of those things that if you're just not familiar with the layout of the Tower of Orthanc in Isengard, that you're just like not really prepared for these types of scenes.
Perhaps.
If you spend less time with your talk of camera angles and more time studying the form, then we wouldn't be in this situation. Did you like their fight though? With the pushing
wizard fight,
and he's spinning around.
Yeah, it's a little breakdancing Gandalf. It spins him around on his head.
It's kind of like a primitive Star Wars fight, really.
Yeah.
Without any lightsabers.
There's some force going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We cut back to Frodo and Sam, who are going through a nice farm. Then Merry and Pippin join the party, but they've been in Farmer Maggot's crop. Just some sausages and potatoes, and I'm allowed to do the voices because I'm not English, but if you do them, it's racist.
Okay.
Even though they mightn't be Irish.
They're just they're hobbits, mate. Yeah?
It is a genuine thing.
Yeah.
I do think people, generally speaking, from my experience, having lived in Scotland, living quite close to the border in Northern Ireland, and lived across Ireland, Galway, Dublin, in the Midlands, etc., and now living, slightly more towards the north in England, I have noticed, particularly back when we were in Lincolnshire, towards the Midlands, there's a bit of a blind spot with most English folk not being able to discern between a Scottish, Northern Irish, or an Irish, or even in some cases a fucking Welsh accent, or even a Northern accent.
Right.
Would you subscribe to that? Would you think there's any truth to what I'm saying there? Or do you think, no?
Well, I thought you were Canadian when I first met you. for about 5 minutes. I was like, oh, that American.
Are you fucking seriously? You thought that?
Yeah, I've told you about this before.
I think everyone.
Multiple people
that.
have thought that you're like.
I thought you were different.
No,
I thought you were my OTP. You think it was fucking Canadian like everyone else.
I think it's a accent that I wasn't familiar with enough.
Yeah.
And so you just go, oh, it's an accent. It might be this one. Like you just clutch at straws and try and find some kind of accent that it might be. Yeah, you're probably right. That
because I mean, if I was to let Mary Pippin,
any kind of non-English accent is just like.
Is there anyone in this movie you think has a Scottish accent? Any of the characters?
I don't think so.
Irish accent?
Yes.
Who's got an Irish accent?
Aragon?
There's a few lines he says that sound quite Irish, don't they? Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment.
I can't remember if one of Merry and Pippin is kind of Irish.
Yeah, Pippin's got a bit of a Scottish twang.
He's Scottish.
A little bit of a Scottish twang. A little bit. He goes, steady on.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a Scottish there.
There's something there.
There's something there.
Yeah.
But so we get to Brie. Brie is my favourite place. One, because it's named after a cheese. Mm-hmm. 2, because you can see Peter Jackson chowing down on a carrot.
You can.
And 3, the little 2-door system, because they've got hobbits coming and they've got humans coming.
That's a fun visual gag.
What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's cute.
Oh no, it's not humans. It's hobbits to go down the little door. Yeah.
Would you like to be a hobbit if the chance? I mean, if you were like to start off a life anew in Middle Earth, would you like to be a hobbit or a regular
hobbits
person?
seem like good guys. So
they treat them well, don't they?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I wouldn't mind being treated condescendingly if it meant that they were going to have my own little special doors and little special beds made for me.
It's very accommodating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Brie seems like a very forward-thinking place.
Also, do you think Buckleberry Ferry sounds like a brand of cider?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Buckleberry Ferry
pint of Buckleberry Ferry.
Buckleberry Ferry could do ciders. They could also do kind of bespoke, fancy pies that you might find in a farm shop.
Yeah.
Buckleberry Ferry Farms.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they're in the Inn of the Prancing Pony, but there's no Gandalf the Grey. He's not arrived.
No.
So they have to stay around with the worst people ever, who are all braying like asses, spilling beer all over themselves.
They do have trouble getting there, don't they? There's like the ring wraiths are hunting after them.
Wraiths chase after them, going,
but they can't go in the water?
Well, this is one you were wondering about while you were watching.
Yeah.
I think the reason it was is because they got on Buckleberry Ferry and they're floating away, and then like the ferry is like, it's not on the verge, it is like in the middle of the water, so the water is deep.
Yeah.
So it's not as if that horse could continue into that water, because the horse would flood then, and the water would get into the carburetor and it wouldn't be able to start.
Yeah, no horsepower.
You'd be stuck in second the whole way through, you know?
But later on, there's like shallow water and the horses are still a bit wary
I think most horses
are not keen to go in water.
Not keen on water.
Okay.
Particularly if it's a horse that's afraid or has been treated badly or doesn't like its master as much. And I don't think those ring rates care much about the 5 freedoms.
You can bring a horse to water.
You can bring a horse to water.
But you can't make it go in the water.
And run across the water.
Yeah.
No. So Defra, definitely get on the fucking Nazgul straight away.
Yeah.
Their hoofs were bleeding. They've got bloodshot eyes.
Yeah.
Are the
horses dead?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just evil horses.
Okay.
Can a horse be
evil? Undead kind of weird horses, or are they just
like
horses?
Black evil horse.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Ugh.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So in the darkness, there is a sexy stranger in the Prancing Pony Inn. Folks say he goes by Strider.
Yeah.
Strider. Now, did you know this character, did you? Because when I said at the start,
Strider.
List off the characters, you never mentioned Aragon.
No.
So were you aware of Aragon?
I guess probably. I just forgot that he existed. He blends in to me with Boromir, Aragorn. Yeah. They're all kind of tough, long-haired men
with little goatees.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's hotter, Boromir or Aragon?
Aragon? Yeah.
I thought Aragon, they missed a trick having him not played by the great Hollywood actor Johnny Depp. I can't even say that with a straight face. But you imagine if Johnny Depp was playing him. I bet there was someone somewhere thought, maybe we could get Johnny Depp. Thank fucking God.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So Frodo accidentally rings it up and goes invisible. And we get taken right into Sauron's eye. So he's basically a big screensaver right in front of him.
Yeah, shit gets weird as soon as the ring slips onto his finger.
No, it's a recent episode we did. It was about The Exorcist, with the flashes and the
There's some of that here. Yeah.
I wonder if Exorcist really did kind of popularise the kind of
the flashy
splashing in the something evil. What is it? Can't tell. well, you know. But yeah, the eye, definitely a bad dude indeed.
Unnerving.
So Aragon introduces themselves and they tootle away. They decide that the ring wraiths are coming, so they leave a trap for them. The ring wraiths kill pillows instead of hobbits.
Yep.
We've all been there.
And the hobbits are sleeping in a human bed.
Yeah. Oh, is this so cute? Yeah. That's kind of the reason why I wouldn't mind being a hobbit. Yeah. First of all, don't have to worry about shoes. Finally.
Yep.
Second of all, Great British Bake Off every day of the week.
Yep.
Third of all can fit in like a big bed. Like, yay!
Yeah.
Save so much money.
Exactly.
Do you reckon there's loads of thrifty hobbits who go onto like, you know, the human websites and they order one bed?
I spend so much on beds. If I could fit multiple people in one, then that would be great.
You're cutting down your costs there.
Yeah.
So Aragon just takes them all away, and they go, "Where are you taking us?" And he goes, "Into the wild." And then they're like, "Can you be more specific?" And then comes the most Irish line in the whole goddamn movie: "Rivendell, Master Ganji, to the house of Elrond. No better man, fucking straight as a telephone pole. I trust him. He'll do the job for us now. He will. But we're tight for time, so we better make off now. Have you had a wee?" Have you had a wee? Alright, well, we'll take the motorway down. You will switch over. I don't want to take that back road. I know it's faster, but I'd rather take the motorway. All being said.
And that is a verbatim quote from Lord of the Rings.
That is, exactly. Yeah. Actually, that bit, I want that with, like, Aragorn's face.
Yeah.
Like, with the text
meme
underneath.
Over it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sauron is building an army with his cool new orc mates.
Yes.
In case you didn't know, this whole thing is meant to be an analogy for deforestation and industrialization.
Right, because they're cutting down trees.
Cutting down trees, making big whirly things and smoke.
Yeah.
So, very much when you're looking at these things here, from my perspective, the Irish perspective, Ireland, very much... No one can dispute that.
Yeah.
England, however, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, cling, 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 cling. You know, you are like inherently an evil, wicked people.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I'm sorry, but I used to have a whole stand-up routine about English people being the orcs from Lord of the Rings, and I'm just saying, like,
man flesh.
Does that make you?
That's where I know that from. I know that from your stand-up routine.
Does it bug you that all the orcs are English?
No, it's fine.
Really? Because I mean, for me, I always get annoyed if the bumbling idiot has an Irish accent. Right. It does piss me off.
Yeah.
But it's like, because in old war movies, the Nazis sound English.
Yeah.
The orcs are all English.
Well, baddies are English.
The Empire are all English.
Baddies are English. I'm fine with that.
You're fine with that. But not all English.
But not all English, mate. Yeah? Alright.
So they decide they're going to camp up at this like Weathertop place to spend the night.
Weatherspoons, mate.
Weatherspoons. They decide they're going to camp up in Weatherspoons.
Yeah.
And Merry and Pippin have obviously, they've got grumbles in their tummy. I don't know if you picked that
hungry
up.
boys.
Hungry boys.
Yeah.
They've had their breakfast, like.
But when's second breakfast?
Now that's a great concept.
Yeah. And then 11th is lunch.
Supper, tea.
Afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea.
Dinner. Supper.
So it's kind of like if you're English and you're not an evil orc, then you're a glutton. Is that what they're basically saying?
Hungry lads.
Hungry lads. They're grown boys.
It's cute.
Have you ever had a second breakfast?
Well, probably.
I mean, like, is that kind of do you have a secret meal like kind of in the day?
No.
Have you ever had a secret meal?
Secret meal?
Secret meal?
No.
Kind of like a routine of like having a kind of a set snack.
I snack, sure, but I don't have a secret meal.
So you don't have like a routine as in like, I will always have a snack at this time. This is like my special meal. So you don't have like, for instance, cereal bar madness on a Monday at 10.
No.
Okay, that's right.
But that sounds fun.
Just me.
That sounds fun.
So yeah, second breakfast. And then, they're camping up there. They're trying to get to Rivendell, which is where the elves are, and they'll know what to do. A lot of this is kind of, we'll go there. They'll know what to do.
So much of the film is just like, let's keep going. We'll go here.
They'll know what to do.
Let's find out if these people know what to do. If these people send us here. They'll go along here. They'll know what to do.
They'll know what to do. Trust me. You'll know what to do.
Yeah.
Now, what I love most here is that when they're in Weatherspoons, Weathertop, and it's nighttime, and Frodo gets woken up because the lads they're cooking.
Yeah.
Like, what do you got here? And like, tomatoes, sausages, nice crispy bacon, and all of a sudden you hear,
Yeah.
Now, for me, I've watched this movie many times, but this is the first time where I decided, I guess the Nazgul just can't resist the smell of a funnel English fry-up.
No, perhaps not.
Apparently not. You know, if you were to translate that high-pitched screech, it would probably say "core."
Yeah.
Tomatoes, sausages, nice crispy bacon.
It smells nice.
Put it out, you fools! Put it out! Notice that Frodo, all of his lines are really fucking whingy.
Yeah.
Where are you taking us? Put it out! Don't tell anyone about the ring.
Elijah's got a good face for that, hasn't he?
He does. He conveys
the big eyes.
Big eyes. He's got simpy for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
So the Wraiths come and they stab Frodo. Now Frodo, when he gets stabbed, this is the first of many times he gets stabbed in the franchise. He does make that kind of like, I'm doing a big poo, like.
Yeah.
So Frodo gets stabbed, and while he's all like kind of lying there, all like stabbed, he's been stabbed with a Morgul blade,
right?
Which means he won't die; he'll become a wraith, which is worse than being dead, because then he'll just
miss that.
Yeah, that another
bit.
little bit. Yeah. Literally, was like, he's been stabbed by a Morgul blade. He'll turn into a wraith like them. Just that quick, boom!
Yeah.
You miss it, tough shit.
Right.
You have to do a podcast here, mate. And find
this is great because now I'm learning what happens in.
I'm like seriously filling the blanks in this closed passage that we're doing here.
Yeah.
So the Wraiths get their asses kicked by Aragorn, who sets them all on fire.
Yeah.
And tosses his burning stick right into one of their faces. Love it. Love seeing people on fire going, running away. It's great.
That'll be the last we see of the Wraiths.
Did you think they were dead?
I thought they were dead, but I thought there might be more of them. That's what I thought.
We get a real surprise here. A real shock. A female character.
Yeah. We get a girl turn up. A nice, nice angel lady.
In fairness, she has an aura around her when she appears. It's all like...
Yeah. But it's because Frodo's been stabbed and he like passes out and then he kind of wakes up.
You ever have a shit so bad that you pass out after? You do that big shit, like a poo with a bone in it, like it's that big. You know? I'm glad to know we haven't lost our touch in the intervening 6 months.
Cinema swell, everyone. The nice lady comes along. Arwen.
Yeah, you got her name. Yeah. So Arwen, she's an elven lady.
Right.
And she is basically telling them, look, if he comes with me, I can get him across the river to Rivendell, which is my dad's gaff.
Yeah.
Or land. And if we cross the river, then the combined magic of my people will be able to protect him and keep him safe. Basically kind of like they've got like a cloud of excess, you know, they've uploaded their excess data to the cloud for us all to enjoy.
Right, yeah.
So if you get over there, safety in numbers.
Yeah.
So she gets him on the horse and off they go. And we get a big old chase. I fucking love a proper... Like, this is what I love about this movie, is the fact that so much of it is tactile and real, which you didn't get in The Hobbit. In The Hobbit, everything was fucking CGI'd.
Right.
The baddies, the scenery, the lighting, it was so fake.
There was some real shit going on.
Just like seeing like all those horses fucking galloping through this beautiful New Zealand wilderness.
And those are legit horses?
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Like, I love the fact that they dressed up a load of guys in scary robes. Like, right, you five are going to fucking chase as fast as you can. Gallop, gallop, gallop. I think it's so cool and well choreographed.
Yeah.
And then we get water horses.
We do get water horses.
Yeah. So the water horses defeat the ring wraiths.
Arwen's horse can go in the water.
Yeah.
Goes in the water.
And then she's all like...
So she can command water? She can summon the water?
Elven magic.
That's
it. It's elven magic.
Just brain stuff, mate.
It is. Brain stuff. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So they're all safe in Rivendell then?
Yeah, like Frodo like fake dies, but he's alright.
He's alright. You thought they were dead.
There is that bit where... This is the one special effect bit that I thought looked quite tacky.
Oh shit, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's all white and heavenly, and there's like a
And Elrond is like, hello, Frodo.
Like a weird cutout. Like the edges is so blurry and it doesn't look quite right. And yeah, that's the only bit where it looks like I could have made that in like GCSE media or something with a cheap green screen and bad lighting.
It is. It's a naff bit.
It's just that one bit. Everything else is fine looks wise, but that bit is a bit like.
And wouldn't you say you're usually kind of a CGI snob with these things? Like if you saw like a rubbish CGI movie, you'd be like, fuck that. It's taking me out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like magic, if you can see how it's done and
it does take you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting, yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, they wake up in what is heaven, essentially.
Yeah, I legit was like, this seems like heaven because it's so...
Gandalf is there.
Gandalf's there, Bilbo's there, it's all brightly lit.
And Sam is here as well.
Yeah, all your friends are
all
here.
Your favourite foods as well. We got those Pop-Tarts you like.
Really idyllic.
And no one else is allowed to have any.
Yeah.
We got a very, very big box of Crave cereal as well.
If they'd have pulled back and he was still there, like having been stabbed and just woke up, I wouldn't have been surprised.
He looks over, hang on a second, instead of Gandalf, just an eye. An eagle!
Yeah.
Gandalf, by the way, escaped on a giant eagle.
Did he?
He did, yeah. That's how he got off the Tower of War.
Yeah.
Big eagle.
Oh, because like at that point, you meet everyone again, and you thought Gandalf might have died.
Yeah, because
he goes, previously on Lord of the Rings, all this shit happened.
Previously on AMC's The Lord of the Rings.
You see him have the actual fight with Saruman and flies away. I didn't know it was an eagle. I knew it was like a bird
giant eagle,
thing.
yeah.
How did you get the eagle?
He's whispered into a moth.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yeah? What, have you tried whispering into a moth?
No, I'm not a moth whisperer though, mate.
Clearly.
I ain't no Gandalf.
No Gandalf.
So when Gandalf is like, he's had that fight, he flies away on the eagle. There is one bit in the fight with Saruman where he says, "There's only one, the Lord of the Rings." And
he didn't say there's only one. There's only one Lord of the. I think that Christopher Lee insisted on that.
Of being the one who says
the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
No, because I listened to the commentary tracks, and the commentary tracks in these movies are fucking fascinating.
Right.
Because you got old actors, young actors, everyone sitting around fucking madness.
Yeah.
And randomly, once Christopher Lee goes, people keep wondering who the Lord of the Rings is. It's Sauron. Sauron's the Lord of the Rings, and that should be very evident from the get-go.
Wow.
Man pissed off about it. Like, actually, I think we're all the Lord of the Rings, really, in a way.
I think the real Lord of the Rings are the friends we made along the way.
I think that kind of I'm the Lord of the Rings in a way by watching Lord of the Rings.
But the only one Lord of the Rings is like a footy chant. There's only one Lord of the Rings. There's only one Lord of... But you know the footy chant when there's only one. It doesn't fit in syllable wise. Yeah. But if you really, if you commit,
the head of the Wizard's Order is a wanker. Is that kind of a thing? The footy.
Just tea, please. Is it just tea?
Boo.
There you go.
So a bunch of new folks arrived to Rivendell.
Ned Stark.
Yeah, Ned Stark. You also get Legolas.
Mm-hmm. Legoland.
Did you know about Legolas then? He was something you mentioned previously.
Yeah, long hair, blonde, archer.
Is he the hottest in the movie?
One of. Yeah, good looking lad.
He is. He's a handsome boy.
Yeah.
And Gimli, son of Gloin.
I didn't know about Gimli.
Gimli? You didn't know who Gimli was?
No.
So you never heard of Gimli before?
I don't think so.
Like, and my axe.
No.
Never heard that before?
No.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Do you know that, I think, as far as I know, Bill Bailey actually auditioned for the role of Gimli.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so fucking...
That would have been great.
Yeah.
So Gimli's a dwarf.
He's a dwarf, yeah.
He's big bugger though, isn't he?
Yeah, dwarves are bigger than hobbits.
Right.
But dwarves are still shorter than humans and elves.
Yeah.
Elves is the tallest.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think the hobbit size is throwing me off all the perspectives here.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So we do get to see as well some information and some kind of bits alluded to. They're looking at the broken swords that Isildur used to cut the ring from Sauron at the start.
Yeah.
And you find out that Aragon, aka Strider,
Yeah.
aka Johnny Depp, is none other than the heir apparent to the throne of Gondor and the kingdom
The
of
guy
men.
who sliced the hand.
He's his heir.
Right.
So he's got like expectations on him.
Yeah.
So his expectations like, we have no king at the moment. Maybe this guy.
Who's the guy from the Matrix that shows up?
That's Elrond.
Elrond.
Not L. Ron Hubbard.
Okay.
Elrond. Elrond is the head of the elves.
Here's the thing. Elrond is like 1,000 years old or something.
He's like 3,000 years old.
Yeah.
He's older than that even, yeah.
But he looks about 40 odd.
The elves are immortal.
But my question,
okay,
and it's not for you, it's just for anyone.
So am I not allowed to answer?
Well, I don't know if you'll know this, and I don't want to like assume that like you know everything about Lord of the Rings, but like he looks in his 40s, but he's several thousand years old. Mm-hmm. But Arwen,
his daughter,
early 20s, mid 20s, but she's an elf as well.
Yeah,
is she going to age until she gets to about 40 and then not age forever?
As far as you know, they age very, very, very slowly.
Okay.
So that they, like, I think their adolescence or whatever, their childhood is quite short still. But then once they reach that age, they kind of...
You just age slowly
and slow age. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
so they're immortal. They can be killed.
Right,
but if they're just left to their own devices, they won't die of old age. So,
that's cool.
Yeah. Handy.
Yeah, nice.
Very convenient. That. I actually might look into that myself.
Do they age?
Immortality for Christmas. Like, I was thinking new iPad and I thought,
immortality.
Treat yourself. Go on, immortality. So they had the big team meeting, and essentially Elrond is not happy with the progress from across the department, and he's kind of brought everyone in to kind of see if we can learn from each other and kind of identify best practice and share that out.
Now they know they have to destroy the ring.
Yeah,
they settle on that.
Well, Boromir is not on that. He's like, it's a gift.
It is a gift.
This is the one ring. This is Sauron. This is Hitler in a ring. It is a gift. No, it's not.
No, bad ring.
That line right there, you're off the council. It is a gift.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Send him home. Never mind the fact that he's fucking Sean Bean. He's gonna die anyway.
Send him home.
Send him packing, mate. So, not fit for the job.
Gimli flies in and tries to hit it with a hammer once they
set
and it just like ruins everything. The fucking idiot.
You called him an idiot.
Yeah, don't do that. And then they like decide that, okay, right, we need to destroy it, but the only place you can destroy it is Mordor.
Yeah.
Mordor. Which is like a Scottish person saying murder is how they all pronounce Mordor.
There's been a Mordor.
And they know they have to chuck it into some fire.
Yeah.
Right? The flames.
It was made in the fires of Mount Doom, so
they have to go back there,
the fires of Mount
put it in there, and they're like, someone needs to go and do that. And there's all these lads gathered round in this big table.
And they're all...
But no one puts themselves forward to be the one to do it. And this is like on The Apprentice, where on a task, they need a team leader, and no one volunteers, because they know they're going to get fired by Alan Sugar if it goes wrong. No one's brave enough to volunteer.
Yeah, it's
a shame. They just argue and bicker.
And is Frodo kind of like...
There's one nice boy.
Yeah, the nice boy. That's Frodo. What a nice boy Frodo is.
Yeah, I've written Frodo is such a good boy.
This is so weird. I don't know if this means like I'm getting older or whatever, but this is the first time I watched this movie where when Frodo has his little moments of bravery and I feel... Oh, the poor... no, you don't need to do that.
Oh, you want to let him off the hook and do
it? I don't want to...
No, go ahead, mate.
No,
sit down.
This is for the grown-ups.
Yeah.
You don't need to... taking the ring to Mordor. Isn't he a saint? And as if butter wouldn't melt in his mouth.
Butter wouldn't spread over too much bread.
So the fellowship forms.
Yeah.
You have my bow and my sword. And my axe.
And then all the hobbits are like, I'll go as well. You're not going without me.
It's very difficult to stop you two from coming in, yeah? And he's kind of like, okay, you can go to the fiery
There's
pits
no
of
way
hell.
in hell I'm going to let you go on there on your own, Mr. Frodo. I'm never doing that.
Now, I will say, as the responsible adults in the room, Elrond et al. Should have known at this point, particularly after Boromir gives his "one does not simply walk into Mordor, the very air is poison" speech, that the four fucking pure hobbits from the Shire shouldn't be going headfirst into that.
No, but I think he appreciates their bravery getting there in the first place and thinks that means something.
Fucking dick is what he is.
Yeah.
You just get a couple of big dudes. Four big boys. Get Jesse Ventura. Get fucking Dutch. Yeah?
Arnie.
Get the boys. Get Predator in there. So you cooked up a story and got the 6 of us in Mordor.
But instead you've got some little mini humans running around trying their best.
And they haven't even got, like, swords.
No.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if any of them were, like, proper fighting trained, the hobbits.
No. Hobbits don't fight. The only thing they've ever attacked is a pie.
Hey.
And at this point, when the Fellowship forms and they all shake hands, this is usually where it would be the end of Disc 1.
Yeah, to say, and we shall call this the Fellowship of the Ring.
Next time on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So, Frodo gets some new swag. He gets a new shirt, gets a new sword, and also scary Bilbo.
Yeah, Bilbo's still pervy about the ring. He starts unbuttoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed the scary face the first time.
Because you were taking notes, and you were like, "Did you see the scary face?"
I was like, "Yeah, he made a scary face." Yeah.
Let's rewind.
No, I did not see that one.
Oh God! So they decide they're going to go and drop the ring off in Mordor.
Yeah.
Pop round Mordor.
Off on a mission.
On the way, there are birds.
Yep.
And there's also snow.
And the sausages.
Yeah. I like as well that Boromir gets all turned on by the ring. He picks up the snow and he's like, ugh. This fucking ring, yeah.
Give it back to Frodo,
Give
mate.
it back. Come on now. I don't trust you, Boromir. Surprisingly, the guy who thinks it's a gift wants it.
Yeah. Mate, if it's a gift, it's not a gift for you, yeah?
Don't look a gift ring in the mouth is all I'm saying, okay? Saruman does his special anti-mountain chant.
Yeah.
So the mountain is all like firing and falling apart. And it zooms all the way. It's just Chris Lee going... Do you ever wonder, particularly around these parts where it's raining, like all the fucking time, that somewhere, if we just look around carefully enough, there's an old man standing on top of somewhere. Stop it, old man!
Yeah.
Fucking stop it! Oh, I got washing out on the line, old man.
Nothing's falling down, mate. Come on.
So, because it's all mountainy and the little ones... one thing I will say actually about Boromir, because I use the phrase little ones, and that is what he refers to as the hobbits. He does try and look after the hobbits. You know, so down the mountain,
cute.
He has Merry and Pippin, like he's holding them in, keeping them warm, and he's like, we can't go here, it'll be the death of the little ones.
And I think they have a little scrap at some point, they're play fighting and
teach them how to do swords. That is nice. There is good there.
Yeah.
You know, in
Boromir I think is a good guy.
Yeah.
Just tempted by the ring.
Did you think that there was much Ned Stark to this character, or was it very different?
Not quite as much as I would have hoped.
I think he's like completely like I was worried when Game of Thrones started going, I'm just going to see Boromir, because I'm obsessed with Boromir.
Yeah.
Like really obsessed with Boromir.
Well, he's a meme, isn't he?
He is. He's such a meme, and I just want nothing more than someone to make an animation where Boromir and Vernon Dursley just go on a road trip. You know, two of my favourite weird characters in anything ever, you know? So Boromir is maybe not to be trusted at this point.
No, he's a bit naughty.
So they decide they're going to head to the Minecraft of Moria, which is where Gimli's cousin lives. And he's like, they'll give us a big feast, ripe meat off the bone. What the fuck is ripe meat off the bone? Ew.
Yeah.
That's a little bit like food poisoning, maybe?
Is
ripe?
Ripe.
How's meat ripe?
I don't know. Fresh.
It's
I don't know.
You squeeze the meat, it's nice and hard.
Ripe. Lovely. Is this the magic door in the wall?
It is the magic door in the wall. It says, speak French to enter, and it's all lights up.
It's a fucking, like, cryptic crossword, and it wants, the wanky answer, where it's not like...
Gandalf's just there on, like, the scribble box, like, you know, trying to
work
figure it out.
You literally just have to say friend.
Say friend to enter. Do you remember what the Elvish word for friend was?
Melon.
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 What would you like for dinner?
Melon. They have to get rid of Bill the horse. They have a little scene where they're like, bye, Bill.
The mines are no place for a pony.
No.
Even as one as brave as Bill.
No.
Aww.
Bill the pony.
It's Sam's pony called Bill's a great name for a pony.
Yeah.
Keith is another one.
Yeah.
Or Harry.
Stuart.
That's a good... Any kind of British first name, really.
Melon.
Even a pony as brave as Melon.
Yeah. But there's a horrible fucking water monster when they're trying to get into the mine, because they come out of the mine.
That thing freaked me out so much when I was a kid.
Freak me out now.
I have in the intervening years dissected squids and octopuses and also have supervised and demonstrated the dissection of squids and octopuses, I'm still freaked out by that thing.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that cutting them up would make me get used to it. I've eaten so many squids in the intervening years. I had squid last night for tea. Still scares me, that thing.
Yeah.
Particularly when Legolas does the double bow shot and hits him right in the head. He goes,
oh, not the poo noise again.
He does. He makes that fucking
yeah, it's
awful.
Gross. Yeah.
So now they have no choice.
Yeah.
But to face the long dark of Moria.
To Moria's the mine.
And everyone's in there is dead as well.
Yeah. It's a tomb, mate.
It shows you that, like...
Not a mine. It's a tomb.
It's a tomb. You notice that there's no real good lines of communication here. Because Gimli, with his supposed best mate cousin Gloin, is kind of caught with his drawers down here where everyone's not only dead, but dead and turned into skeletons covered in cobwebs.
Yeah.
Keep in touch.
Now...
We didn't see you at Christmas, Gimli, I know, but fucking hell. We left you off the Rain Robin letter this year, but we thought you just had shit you were working through.
So I've got some questions here.
Yeah.
There's a bit where Gollum is in the mines.
Mm-hmm. He's been following them.
So he's actually there.
Yeah.
He's just crawling around.
Following them.
But you don't get much from Gollum. You just know that he's there, so he is following them. He's going to show up later.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. And then there's a bit where they come into a room with like loads of pillars. Mm-hmm. And there's loads of like majestic music.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at this place. But just a load of fucking pillars.
Alright, I mean, you're the kind of person, if you saw something really awesome on Minecraft, you're like, yeah, it's alright, I guess. Yeah. And then you won't realise the hours of work that went into it.
They just copy and pasted those pillars over and over again.
No, they've done this in survival mode. They get all the obsidian the hard way with a diamond fucking hammer. The reason there was majestic music is because it's meant to be like the realm of the dwarfs. It's their big city.
Okay.
It doesn't look so great because they're all dead.
Yeah.
Not that you asked.
I'm sorry.
Unbelievable. So you hate dwarves, you hate melons.
No, I love melon. Melon. Melon is a friend to me, man.
So while they're there in the big, huge open area that's very grand and majestic, despite what Sam would say, they discover Balin's tomb, which is Gimli's cousin. He's all like, no!
Just to clarify, he's not pooing. He's sad.
Jeez, have you ever had a poo where you start crying? Where you've just like hit wits end, like, that's the worst, like, absolutely. It doesn't get much worse than that.
No. Still got it.
So Gimli's sad.
Yeah.
Wah. Pippin makes a right old din as Gandalf is reading this kind of scary book that they're all trapped and gonna die.
He knocks like a skeleton
He
over.
turns a finger on the skeleton, which makes its head fall off, and then it falls in, and then a bucket falls in, and a chain.
And Gandalf gets mean because like, a fool of a took.
Gandalf is like the nice teacher you had when you were a kid that's always super nice and then gets bam angry.
And when they get strict, it's extra scary because of how nice they are normally.
You don't want to see that. He's so pissed off with Merry and Pippin at this point.
Is Merry like a took?
No, Merry is a brandy book.
Right.
Pippin took.
Right. Fool of a Tuck.
Right. Tuck really is like a big family in Hobbit land, essentially. So he's a fool of a Tuck. Poor boy. So he's made a din, which means that loads of goblins show up.
Yep.
And a cave troll. Cave
troll's scary.
Did it scare you? You did a bit of a bleh when you saw the cave troll.
I don't like the cave troll. The goblins are fucking gross pricks. Legolas gets a chance to be really good at fighting here, though. He's jumping up on everything. He's throwing bows and throwing bows and
What did you think of the fight scenes like? Because there's quite a few. This is one of our big ones here. This is kind of a set piece with all the goblins and all the fighting going on, the big trolls smashing shit. There's a lot of CGI blended in with real here. How did it look on your end?
They're good. They look good. I just don't think I'm like fully invested in fight scenes of that scale or that type when there's like big hordes of things.
So you don't like seeing big. You must feel kind of more mano-y-mano, 2-on-1,
I
1-on-2.
think so. I don't even know if I like fight scenes, but yeah, it looks fine. It does. There's no CG things which don't work.
Yeah.
Like the what's the monster called?
Cave troll.
The cave troll. He's fine.
He's fine.
He's okay.
Not great. Not terrible.
No.
There are a few moments where Legolas jumps on the back of things and they CG him in and looks a little bit Spider-Man.
A little bit jumpy.
A little bit. Who's that? That ain't human. Frodo gets stabbed
again. Stabbed all the time.
Well, I won the office pool. Frodo got stabbed again.
But as soon as he gets stabbed, his little mates really properly go for revenge. Merry and Pippin.
when I die, are you going to get
cute.
something sharp and start stabbing whatever you say, like?
Yeah.
Because you better.
Even if it didn't kill you, I'll just start stabbing you.
Yeah. So it turns out he's got his mithril, as light as a feather, and as hard as dragon scale.
Yeah. It's a nice little armour.
Have you heard the word mithril before?
No.
No? It's kind of I think it's an established, like, fictional element.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if you ever find yourself in a mythical land, mithril's what you're after, Sam. Okay? Just so you know. I'm giving you the tools you need to succeed
Mithril.
in fictional realities. Melon, mithril. I want some friends, I want some armour. That's all I want.
Yeah, I want some melon-flavoured mithril just to get this cough to go away.
Lemon scented. Like.
Yeah.
They head to the bridge of Khazad-dûm. Dun, dun, dun. They see the Balrog, who is a demon of shadow and flame.
Yeah, scary.
Now, I kind of only realised this when we're going through. There is so many instances of, here's the big scary thing, you should be so afraid of it. Oh, it's gone.
Well, every different location has another scary thing.
It does, yeah.
Or a thing that's difficult to cross over. Or,
and you see a glimpse of it, and then that's it. It's like, oh, the crows are coming. Meow, 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 meow. See ya.
Yeah, but that monster, whatever that thing was.
The Balrog.
The
big fire dude.
Balrog.
The Balrog.
Right, not the bog roll.
Not the bog
The Balrog.
Not the Balrog.
He was fucking shit scary. Massive, weird shadow
Fire
demon
sword.
thing. Not much happened
No.
with him. No.
He chased them.
Yeah.
He says, this foe is beyond any of you. Run! And they all run.
Yeah.
And then the Balrog is like, yo, what's up? And we get the famous line.
Well, he does he does something quite important. He get the...
Wait,
go on, Kevin.
You're not allowed to go over here. No, go away!
You can't come.
The Bridge of Khazad-dûm as well. Health and safety nightmare. No fucking hand railing.
No.
And it's slippery
That's
stone.
the bit that scares me. I know there's the bit where there's a big gap in the middle, but I'd just be scared walking down it anyway where there's no edge.
I couldn't focus on the scary monster behind me because I'd be like, oh shit, slippery. I'm wearing Converse. There's no grip. Oh,
exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Gandalf dies. Gandalf the Grey, more like Gandalf the Brown, as in brown bread, because he dies like a stupid idiot.
I mean, that was emotional.
Nearly cried.
Yeah?
I nearly cried.
What now?
I had tears a little bit.
Oh.
A little bit. Because I saw the effect it had in the room.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that is sad.
It was sad.
And again, I feel a lot more sympathy for Frodo and the hobbits watching this time around.
The little lads.
And I was really kind of like, oh no, I wasn't sad for Gandalf, I was sad for the little boys.
It's going to hit them hard.
They're going to get hit right in the fucking feels.
Because remember how excited they were when he turned up at the party?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, Gandalf's here, he's got his fireworks, everything's right. And now he's fucking dead.
Oh. I must say, from doing Cinema Swirl, I never would have been someone who's like, I'd never get emotional, never get sad in movies. No, not me, man. No way.
Right.
And there's 2 movies now where I've like very much been like, shit, if I was like the right circumstances, I probably would start crying now.
Yeah.
Rocky was one of them, and this is another one now. So I'm an old romantic. Rocky and Lord of the Rings will get me going, like.
Yeah. So like, Gandalf dies. Everyone's sad. Everyone's very emotional.
Give them a moment for pity's sake.
Yeah, when they need to move, and then they're just like, right, let's go to another place, find more people. It's
didn't agree with that, did you?
No, I don't know. It's just
Sam, but by nightfall, these hills will be swarming with orcs.
I know, but the narrative is just like, right, we've done that level. Let's go on to the next one. Like, it feels like actual like computer game levels. Like you have the fire one, the snow one.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there's a boss.
Oh, so you thought
there's
it
like
was
bosses.
Yeah, yeah.
There are like actual bosses. I don't know.
So you didn't like the fact that they jumped away as opposed to, because I thought the whole point of that scene was we can't stop and
no, I know that they can't stop. No, you know, but it's just the narrative.
Relentless.
At least in this first film is just like literally like linear, like going forward and just keep going
non-stop. Like absolutely. I think it does get alleviated in the further movies when they split up now, because obviously they're not all together at the end of this.
Yeah, I guess it's good to like solidify who the characters are.
Yeah.
And
I think the use of music in that scene where they have that like high pitched, like the Mr. Bean kind of music when they come out of the mine. It's all like high pitched and it's all like sad and shit. I think the music makes like a huge chunk. There's so much difference in this. I think so much of the atmosphere and so much of what makes this movie like actually work is the music.
Yeah, I
think more so than Star Wars, more so than a lot of the big movies.
Really?
I think so, absolutely.
More so than Star Wars.
Well, like there's so many moments in this where it's like they cut all the other audio. Like when they come out of the mine, there's no audio except for the music. And you see them all like weeping in silence.
I guess so.
They do that quite a few times. It's very, very powerful stuff. But they decide to go to Lothlorien, where they get captured by elves.
Yeah, these fucking...
Next episode.
These Malfoy-looking pricks turn up.
They are very Slytherin, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. They seem very snooty.
I think they went from Malfoy to Aryan very quickly.
Well, you know.
Do you think that Slytherin are intrinsically racist?
No. I just think Malfoy is, blonde boy. That's literally what I was going. But these elf people are all blonde, blue-eyed-ish, I think. Like, very, very like...
These are the wood elves, so they're different from the elves we saw earlier.
Again, that's a bit confusing.
It is.
A different type of elf.
I do remember when I first saw this kind of going, who the fuck are these people? Why the fuck are we here?
Yeah.
Like, is it like... Because this really felt like, of all the bits... Even when I watched it this time, I was like, oh, now they're going to go to, the final battle now. I'm like, no, they go to Lothlorien first.
It's just like, we go here, we meet them, they're a bit snooty, there's something with a mirror, and they get a thing, and then they move on to the next one. It's literally, you pick up like an item from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for...
Snip that bit out of the movie.
Yeah, it's true. They obviously didn't listen to the audio cues that the podcaster left for them in the track. Snip. You think that happens? Like, because we do it all the time. We say snip. We want to get rid of it. Do you think that like Peter Jackson's like, no, snip, and he goes in front of the cameras and he does the snippy motion so they know to cut it
with a carrot in his mouth. Snip.
So Frodo meets the Lady of the Woods,
the elf lady,
Galadriel, and she says, "Will you look in the mirror? What will I see? People see many things."
Yeah, see, like, that bit seems... I can't remember why Frodo is alone with her and near a mirror.
Because she is a very powerful elven lady who can implant thoughts and read your mind and talk to you.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, when they all meet her...
They all revert to their gaze.
She chats to them.
In their heads.
But if you look at her, she'll do a different chat directly to you.
Special chat.
That's cool.
So I think that Frodo knows he used to go and talk with her.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he's there.
Will you look in the mirror?
He looks in the mirror.
Yeah.
And he sees quite the sight. He basically sees what England did to Ireland when they came over. You took the do-do-do-do and you turned into da-da-da, and it's all big wheels and all the Catholics are in shackles as the Protestant landlords whip them.
Yeah.
Get in there! Make us more Kefin! That.
So, Catholics, hobbits.
Yeah.
Protestants.
Orcs.
Okay. just clarifying. She does this whole speech where it's like, you will see things from the past, things that are happening now, or things that are yet to come. It's like Christmas Carol. It's like Christmas Carol.
It's like Scrooged with Bill Murray. Exactly like that.
You get the ghosts of all the different Christmases.
And he just seems Christmas, what will happen if you don't destroy the ring.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty rubbish Christmas, truth be told. And she also, as well, she goes all scary because he offers her the ring and she's like, and it's, really, whoa.
Her scary bit looks cool. Where she goes like kind of blue.
She goes all teal and shit.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
That looks cool. That's like one of those Snapchat filters that you get now that you can put over your face.
Yeah, the Snapchat filter. There's one where you look like a dog, and there's one where everyone will despair and love you.
Yeah, and it says like voice changer. Try with a friend.
Everyone will despair. Have you ever said that when you were on the toilet? Go all blue and go, everyone will despair. All will love me.
I'm going to start saying that instead of like give it 5 minutes.
Everyone will despair.
She delivers like a little trailer quote almost, which is like, even the smallest person can change the course of history.
That's a big trailer moment right there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it was in the trailer as well. All while this is going on, back in Isengard, Saruman's merry band of selectively bred orcs are getting ready for their battle with hashtag strong branding. The White Hand. I love the White Hand. Because, did you understand why they're the White Hand? Because he's the White Wizard.
No, didn't get it.
Yeah, the hand is the symbol of the Wizard Order, and he's the White Hand of Saruman, so they all put White Hands. And what's great about that is that in addition to it being a very strong visual brand, that's very easy to spread, very easy to do as well, just put your hands on something white and go bleh, like that, and you've got white hands.
Yeah.
Everyone can do it, everyone can get involved. Tweet in now with your mates.
Top costume trick, yeah.
Exactly. What would you rather do? Would you rather be with Saruman and drink Pepsi Max and put white hands in your face, or be an old curmudgeon and hang out with
celebrities?
Boromir and the boys all decide to head down a big river where they see statues, which just made me think about Lost again, which I hated. I hate that you make me think about Lost.
What's her name?
Galadriel.
Galadriel gives like a special light
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is like something that will come up later.
She gives him a special quest item.
It's known as Chekhov's special light thing that she gives him.
You can't get rid of it from your inventory because it's important.
Yeah.
And you can't trade it with another player either. You need to hang on to that.
And as you're saying, then they go floating down the river. They float past the statue. The statue has 5 toes.
What's that all about?
If you ask me, it's too many.
I don't know what's going on there, mate.
4, mate, yeah.
4 is the regular number of toes. Boromir gets a little bit handsy with the ring.
He does. Frodo's hanging around next to like a head, which to me I thought was like the Statue of Liberty, and I was like, what? This is getting Planet of the Apes all up on us now. But yeah, they have Sean's after the ring, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
He's got ring fever. my favourite one. If you would but lend me the ring. Give us a go, Frodo, for pity's sake. Stop being so scabby, Frodo.
If you would lend me the ring, and I promise I'll give it back.
If you would but lend me...
Do me a lend of it.
I only ask for the strength to defend my people. I love Boromir here. He's desperate, he's kooky, he's crazy. And then, instead, when people go all like, oh, give us a long, go on, give us, oh, come on. And then they tell you that you'll beg for death before the end. Yeah. That's when you know they're getting desperate. I must say, this movie, rather unhelpfully, included the phrase, and you will beg for death before the end. It put that in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
As in, any time between the ages of 13 and probably 25, when I had a list of things I was talking with someone, I'd usually slip in a you will beg for death before the end.
Yeah.
We're going to go to Nando's, catch a film afterwards, get a taxi back, see how we're feeling, maybe hang out, play some board games, and you will beg for death before the end.
Yeah.
Now, if you get that joke, hey, fun times. If you don't get that joke, Nando's the movie and the board games are going to be a bit of a chore. A long chore.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I've slowly improved myself over the years, and not telling everyone that they're going to beg for death before the end is one of the ways I've made a positive change.
Well done,
in my life.
Yeah, good
Thank
work.
you. Hey, that's what I'm here for, right? Is just to have some mates around, watch some movies, have a good time, and you'll beg for death.
So to get away from Boromir, he slips the ring on again.
Yeah.
And disappears, runs around. Give him like a little boot.
He does. He gives him a stiff kick.
And Boromir comes out with, I see your mind.
Now, that's when you know you're definitely not lending anyone.
Yeah.
Give us a go on your Game Boy. No. If you would but lend me your Game Boy. No. I merely asked for the strength to have a bit of fucking fun on my time off.
You will beg for death before the end.
And then you run away.
I see your mind.
Alright, now you're definitely not getting my Game Boy.
Yeah.
Okay? I see your mind, and your mind is nasty. Yeah? It's nasty, is what it is.
Nasty mind.
So Frodo decides, because Boromir is going to take it, and he was warned by Galadriel that the Fellowship will fall apart.
Yep.
He's going to go lone wolf it. He's going to go stag.
Yep.
He's going to go on his own. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's okay to go stag on your prom night, Frodo. No one's going to judge you any way other way to take your cousin to the Lord of the Rings prom at the end. There's nothing wrong at all.
No, that's fine.
Lots of stabbing happens as all of the Uruk-hai show up to do a big fight.
Yeah, so is Aragorn fighting them off?
He is. He defends because Frodo is all scared of Aragorn. He's like, "Oh, you're going to take it from me," and he goes over and he closes his hands over, and he's like,
He's pure.
He is.
Yeah.
Some sort of king amongst men, no doubt. A very regal quality being able to turn down that ring. But I think he's kind of showing that, not all men, okay? I know that Boromir, he's weak, he bugs you, he says kind of sexist things, but not all men.
All long-haired men with little goatees.
Not all long men with little goatees.
Yeah.
And replica swords.
Well,
and leather coats that look like Aragorn's coat. So Aragorn, he's fighting them all off.
Yeah.
And Boromir, even though he's had done something nasty and horrible,
he joins in.
He joins in. He tries to save Merry and Pippin as well, because Merry and Pippin, they very bravely start going to the orcs. Oh, what are they going to look over here?
Yeah, they do a little distraction, don't they?
So Frodo can get away.
There's a horn blowing at one point. Who's blowing the horn?
That would be Boromir. He's at the horn of Gondor.
Is that to distract them?
It's to draw the orcs towards him.
Yeah.
So he's basically trying to sacrifice himself.
That horn so much sounds like someone's phone on a table vibrating. Yeah, it's that noise.
Why even have it on vibrate if it's going to make noise?
I honestly might go into the film, take that sound clip, and then just put it on top of a phone on a table and see if it actually does work. Because honestly, that's what I thought it was.
It's really sad. Merry and Pippin gets stolen by the orcs because the orcs are told one of the halflings has got a ring.
So they get the little people.
Like, oh, those are halflings.
Yeah.
Duh. What did you think of Aragorn's big fight with Lurtz, the king of the orcs?
It was good. Yeah.
Quite like
the main goblin dude.
He's terrifying man. And when he chops off his arm and he stabs him, then he pulls it in and he's like, "Ugh.
I don't give a fuck, man."
Yeah. What's the fuck gonna do, bro? I ain't got an arm anymore. Whoa!
Yeah. That's the creepy thing, when it's like the pulling in stabbing thing. I didn't like
And
that.
before he can process it, he loses his head, so it doesn't make any difference, does it?
Yeah.
If you're gonna go down, though, go down and give your opponent nightmares for a while, because Aragon ain't sleeping tonight.
No.
Good on you, Lurtz. You'll live forever. Boromir totally will not die. He gets like 1 million arrows in him, and then he dies.
Yeah. He gets hit so many times.
He does. He takes all like right in. You know, he won't go quietly into that night. I think it's quite a sweet moment when he tries to, apologise for what he's done.
He does
He's
this nice emotional speech.
I tried to take the ring from Frodo, the little ones. I'm a fucking bollocks, aren't I? All my mates think I'm a knob. You probably think I'm a bellend, don't you? Don't you? Oh.
But then he says, like,
I'd follow you, my king.
You're a king, yeah.
And Aragon's like, I don't know about all that king business, but I'll make sure that they don't wreck the home, I'll make sure that Old Trafford is safe, okay? I'll make sure that Germany don't win the World Cup and Old Trafford comes home to football town.
Perfect. Like,
boom, nail on the head. So Boromir totally dies.
Yeah.
And Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli are like, well, geez, we don't have much to do now. No. Better go save Merry and Pippin, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Frodo and Sam have serious and OTP moment.
Yeah, Frodo's big sad. He's got the ring in his hand. He's like crying, and he gets in the boat to go on his own. And Sam comes out. And it's like, I won't let you go on your own. I'm coming with you.
You made a promise, Mr. Frodo.
I'm going into the water.
Don't you leave him. And I don't mean to.
But Sam can't swim.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So he just goes in.
Can you swim?
Yeah, I can swim.
That's given that you
Sorry,
can
it's fine
swim.
to not swim, but like...
I'm just saying, not everyone can swim. I don't know why
you got so different.
You can't
fucking swim.
I'm not a fucking idiot like Samwise Gamgee, you fucking moron. Do you ever wonder, like, because... I like to think that, when you gave up Pepsi Max, that, like, what it was is that it was, like when Sam is all in the water, like that, and then a hand comes in and grabs and reaches him out. I think that it was you yourself. You were in the, instead of water, it was Pepsi
Max.
And then
I grabbed myself out of the Pepsi Max.
And you go, hey, be nice to my friend Sam.
Maybe.
And
I was crying, but I made a promise that I wouldn't have any more Pepsi Max.
But it's so sweet! So he decides to chuck old Boromir off the edge of a waterfall. That's how I want to go, by the way. Yeah. Take all my organs, everything that's necessary, whatever's left, chuck it over a waterfall. Be grand.
Okay.
In a barrel.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then Frodo and Sam go on their merry way.
Yep.
The end.
And we're done.
You thought the last 20 minutes... Now, there was some intestinal distress going on in the Cinemas World Studios today.
Full disclosure.
But all the talk about shit has not been in vain.
Yeah.
But I think you were worried that... I don't say you were worried, but do you think the fact that there was other factors at play made you very antsy for the end of the movie? Because you were asking every 2 minutes, is this the end?
Yeah.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I mean, part of it was that it's a long film.
Yeah.
Part of it was that I felt like I needed a weird poo. And I think it was just like...
It is a
slog.
slog.
I was waiting for the end.
Yeah.
I was begging for death by the end.
I honestly don't know if I can recommend you watching the other movies.
No.
As a result of that.
No.
Because the bits that you liked in this, there's more of them in the other movies, but it's also more of the bits that you don't like the big fights and the big battles. And there isn't the big epic battles in this. The other movies, there's pretty much non-stop epic battles with cool moments between Frodo and Sam and the other three.
I think this might be the first time where there's something where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this, and then I haven't really liked it.
Because you have, I mean, I know I'm always concerned. I always think that anyone who's like going to sit down and watch something that they don't think they'll like, and they definitely won't like it. But that has happened before. It's a swirl where
you've turnaround.
Been completely swung around on
Star Wars
being the prime example.
Yeah.
This you didn't look forward to.
No.
You were pretty down on doing it.
Yeah.
Do you think you want to see any more Lord of the Rings?
Not really.
Do you think this movie, like, is it justified in having its following? And can you see why people love it?
I can see. I get it. I can see why people love it. I kind of want to sort of know what happens, but not to the point of watching like 7 more hours of content.
Would you watch them in blocks, like an hour?
No.
If it was like a series.
But if it was like a series, then I would watch it. But it's not. It's not structured in that way. There's not contained storytelling within each hour or whatever. If there was a bit more of that, but then that would make it a TV show and not a film. I don't know. I'm not sure what I wanted.
I'll tell you, Return of the King is, if you think this is a slide, then Return of the King will probably make you not want to watch movies ever again.
I don't know what I wanted, but I didn't get it.
Did you enjoy it? I mean, this movie is meant to be heartwarming and also heart-racing.
Like, I was sad when Gandalf died. I was happy when the hobbits were having fun.
You liked the Shire.
I liked the Shire. I liked Sam and Frodo's friendship.
Really
I liked Merry and Pippin. The action didn't really do it for me. I liked some of the characters. Didn't know much about some of the other characters.
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Star Wars.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why Star Wars? What has Star Wars got that Lord of the Rings hasn't got in your book?
Just better. Just more... it just felt more fun. I don't know. I like Star Wars much more.
There's been times where we've kind of talked about the idea of maybe missing the boat in terms of the peak age to watch this.
Yeah.
Now, if you could, do you think... Because I think Star Wars has that universal appeal of young and old and whatnot. I don't know if Lord of the Rings necessarily does.
I missed the boat.
Do you think you would have enjoyed it more when you were like 10? Do you think Sam, when this movie came out 2001, 2002, do you think that would have been up your street?
Probably not. I think because I had the same level of resistance to it then that I do now. If anything, I've softened a bit in my resistance to it, but I'm still kind of arsey about it.
So, all being said then, Star Wipe rating for Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so what I want to make clear is that it's not a bad film, I don't think.
It's how you know a low Star Wipe rating is coming. It's when there's a big explanation at the start.
It's not crap, and the good bits are good. There's not that many bad bits.
Would you watch it again?
No, and it's like it's not the sort of thing that I like.
Is it boring?
Yes.
You were bored while we watched the movie.
I wanted it to be over, so I think that means I was bored.
Yeah.
It was too much of the same thing. It was like, let's go to these people, do this stuff, go to the next people, do this. I know that's what movies are, but not to that level.
Degree. Yeah. Interesting.
So with that said, I don't know what's the lowest I've given something.
The lowest you've ever given something is 3, as far as I know.
Oh, okay.
Are you going to give it 2?
I was going to give it a 2.5.
Give it 2.
Like right in the middle.
Give it 2. Go on.
No.
There's no 0.5s. What the fuck is this?
Okay. Oh.
Commit. You didn't enjoy it. It's okay.
2 Star Wipes, everyone.
Jesus Christ. You ever
Don't make me feel bad right now. I was
going to say, the way you said it, do you ever do a shit where you go, 2? Well, you heard it here first.
Nah.